Hi y'all, good morning. Well, this video was probably titled 3 or 4 hours of raw and uncut kayak carp fishing. So if you've clicked on it, I assume you're ready to come fishing with me today. So what do you say we get baited up and get to it and see if we can catch us some carp and hey, maybe some buffalo today. You never know. This place I'm in today, I caught my biggest buffalo of all time. So potential is there, but we'll get baited up. I'll show you my rigs, bait and all that, and then I'll kind of explain where we're at, all that, and then we'll tell some stories out here, real life stuff going on. I'm about to wage war with my local utility board. I'll tell you all that mess going on. So we'll do all that, but first let's get to it, folks. We're gonna be using some pack bait and we're gonna be using some worms today. And I'm gonna get both on here and I'll show you these rigs. My regular viewers have seen my carp rigs before, but if you're new to my channel, this is the setup. This is a method feeder. They're made out of wire and coils here. I get these on Amazon. There's a link in the video description, very cheap. I've got that between a couple swivels with a piece of 50-pound braid there in between to kind of keep that down here close to my hair rig, where I've got a number 6 size hook and a couple pieces of plastic corn. This one here is pink corn. My other 2 rigs are yellow. Going to be fishing with 3 rods today. And I'm going to take some pack bait and we're going to put around this feeder, and then we're going to put some worms on here. So this pack bait is mixed up breadcrumbs, sweet corn, like whole kernel sweet corn. I've also got some cream style corn in there, and we've got some Jello mix. This one, I believe this is strawberry. I bought some cherry recently too, but I'm pretty sure this one's strawberry. It smells like strawberry shortcake, so I assume that's what it is. But we put all this around this feeder here, pack it in there good. And we're going to cast it out. It's going to set on bottom there and start to fall off that feeder, creating a little chum pile. Now, in addition to those fake corn there, the plastic corn, on the hook, I'm going to throw a worm out there. Look at all them worms. I stopped there at the store and got us some yesterday just for this trip. We're going to just take a night crawler here, and I'm just going to, I ain't no professional worm hooker or nothing, but I'm just going to run that hook through 2 or 3 times. And hopefully this worm kicking around over there, right there in that chum pile, might get the attention, possibly some carp, possibly some buffalo. Catfish, certainly a possibility as well. Anything's possible when you're doing this style of fishing, folks. I have caught it all. We threw part of that dang pack bait off. Thankfully, about half of it was still on, so we'll roll with it. We may rebait here in a little bit. We got one minor problem, y'all, out here today. I was coming through here, and I was trying to, this creek channel we're in, kind of wide. I was trying to come down this side so that I could set up over here by these trees because the sun's coming up right here. So I wanted us to be in the shade today so we don't get miserable hot. And I was trying to come down through here and be all sneaky and not get over here in the area we were going to be casting to. Well, I nailed something over here, a log or something solid down there. Made a big noise of the kayak and commotion and all. And I see fish scattering. You could see like the little dust plumes. So there were some carp here when I rolled up, but I spooked them. So it may take a little while for us to get bit because we're going to need them fish to kind of work back through this area after the commotion has died down. Typically, when I'm carp fishing, it usually takes 30 minutes to an hour to get that first bite, it seems like. So we may have a little while. If you're just here to see fish caught, you might want to just go ahead and fast forward. But if you're here along for the ride on a real fishing trip, which if you're clicking on a video that's 3-4 hours long, I assume that's what you want, is just a fishing buddy for the day, which what we're going to be, then you come along with me while we get baited up and set here, and I'm going to tell you some stories. My war upcoming war with the utility board, who's pissed me off. Daphne the dog got in trouble the other night. I'll tell you what she's done. And we'll just have us a time out here today. I'm gonna fish for a few hours this morning here until it gets hot. I'm filming this on a Saturday, so that's the main motivation for wanting to carp fish today, is just hide from the bass boaters, pleasure boaters, and all that. It'll be a busy day out on the water, main channel, but back here in this creek, I'm not sure that we'll see anybody today, to be honest with you. And I hope we don't. I'd like to have this place to ourselves back here. There we go. Well, that one actually stayed on the hook, or the feeder there, so that'll work better for us. I'm just fan casting these. We'll have one here, one in the middle, and one out this direction. Again, this setup here, exact same as the other, with just the difference of the color of the fake corn, which, does that make a difference? Well, I'll let you all have that debate amongst yourselves in the comment box or something. I've played around with different colors. If one color makes a difference over the other, I can't really prove it myself. I've gotten bit on every color of bait that I've thrown out there. But I just kind of wanted to take some worms today just to increase our calls. So when them fish get around and they're sucking up these breadcrumbs and the corn, they see that worm there, they might want to get it too. You know, just to give them another option. If I'm not mistaken, the biggest buffalo I caught, it was a big buffalo. I got it in this creek, I think it was 2 years ago now. But it was, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me right, it was on a worm rig, just like we're doing now. Pack bait and a worm. So my buffalo catches have been piss poor so far this year in 2024. We're 6 months into the year. I've caught a grand total of 1 buffalo. So I would like to change that sooner than later. So hopefully today's the day for us. If it ain't, that's okay too, but we might catch us some carp. Commons, would love to get some mirror carp if possible, just because they're cool. Channel cats, always a possibility, especially if you're using these worms, which my regular viewers know how I feel about the channel cats, but you fish in these shallow water areas, you can't really avoid them. Just part of carp fishing. So let's get this one cast out, and we'll have everything set. And hopefully when these fish work back through here, again, I spooked them pretty good. Oh, we're already getting hit right here. Did you see that? That rod jumped. Something probably nipped that worm, I bet. Something probably just stole their worm. But I mean, there's something solid over there, and I nailed it, man. Oh, look right here. That one was getting a little nip too, buddy. Well, maybe we won't have to wait long. Maybe them worms will, it could be bluegill or turtles or something too with them, messing with them worms. That's a possibility as well. The worms will get attention from fish that we wouldn't necessarily attract with the fake corn and the pack bait and all that. But my other gear here, in case you're new to the channel, my rods, Catfish Sumo original chopsticks. They're a lighter action catfish rod. I've got Daiwa. Now this one was getting hit over here. Well, the worms have attracted something out there, y'all. But it's Daiwa BG 4000 size reels. 30-pound braid. And then I've got that piece of 50-pound braid in between the swivels there on that method feeder, just to kind of keep it close down there to my hook. So yeah, y'all, we're setting up today. Again, we're fishing the morning hours because it'll be hot out here today, so I'm gonna fish till about lunchtime. And then the bass boats, pleasure boaters, they can have it today. But I'm in this creek. We're here kind of toward the back of it. It really narrows down back here. You can probably see back there, but it really narrows down and it comes out here, opens up, and it's a big wide area that's real shallow. Like, I mean, you can see it's a wide area here, but I mean, you're talking 2-3 feet deep, maybe 4 feet in the old original creek channel out there, maybe. I mean, it's just a big area of just wide, flat mud, basically. And it extends all the way up through here. And then once you get out past where the end of the land is, the creek goes to the left. And up there, it does kind of get a little bit more depth to it. You'll get up there 7-8 feet. So we're just kind of back here hoping that some carp are roaming around in this mud. We got, oh, something was pulling right there. Man, something's after them worms. He knocked slack in that line. I'm gonna pick up on it. I'm gonna just, I don't know what's going on here. Is this have we got a bluegill or something on here? These number 6 size hooks. By gosh, we do. A bluegill. Listen, bluegill, them worms ain't for you. I bought them special for the carp and buffalo. I like catching me some bluegill, but it ain't gonna be no fun on this tackle that we're using today. Way too heavy a tackle to be enjoying some bluegill fishing. Well, let's put us some more on there. Fish number 1, I guess, y'all. I guess technically we got the skunk out. If these bluegill keep after our worms, we may just have to just use the pack bait and corn today. Normally, that may be the first. I'm trying to remember back if I've ever caught. I mean, I've obviously caught bluegill on worms. That ain't not really news at 11 or anything, but I can't recall catching one on the carp rig. They sit there and mess with it. You see them get after the worms sometimes. I mean, at least you assume you do, because their rod tips doing like we were doing earlier, kind of getting tugged on, but not really nothing there. So you assume it's probably small fish getting after them worms and stuff. But I think that's the first one I've reeled in on the carp setup. Let's get us another worm. We'll try it again. We may have to ditch the worm idea, but we'll try a few more and see. We've got this whole container here. I thought whatever worms we don't use today, I'll throw them in my garden. Let them help fertilize my garden soil. But yeah, this creek, I have fished it before with good success. This is my first time fishing it this year, in 2024. But in years past, I have caught both big carp, big buffalo. I've gotten mirror carp in here. I've caught big catfish in here. Like, this creek, its location on the river, like it's got some good things going for it. And so we're just gonna put in a few hours this morning, fish till it gets hot, and hopefully reel us in a few. And if you're seeing this, spoiler alert, we got on some at some point. Now, it may take a while since I nailed that log coming out here and spooked a bunch of fish. But once the bite gets going and them fish kind of move back in here and they find our pack bait, and every time we cast out, obviously more pack bait's hitting the water. It's making a bigger chum pile out there. hopefully we can get fish feeding in this general area here, and the bite will start coming more and more frequently. It's just my experience. It takes a little while to kind of get that going. And I think there was one right over there. That was a bigger ripple. But I've been curious about this kind of thing as far as viewer experience, and y'all can give me some feedback on this. When I'm doing these unedited, raw, and uncut kayak carp trips, do you want me? Like this morning, I roll up, we drop the anchors down, and we start the video. From the moment I cast out here to when I leave today, y'all seeing everything. Another option that we could do in the future, for those of you that like a little bit more action, especially early on in the video, I could do my thing out here, get baited up, cast out, turn the camera on with the first fish, so if it takes 30 minutes or an hour to get that first bite, then we start the video, and hopefully we don't have as much down. That's a possibility too. Y'all, my fishing partners in this thing, y'all tell me, but I'll let you all kind of decide. I'm sure we'll probably get some feedback both ways on that, but I'm cool with whatever y'all want. Y'all drive the bus around here. Probably though, I had this comment the other day. This one cracked me up. In this time of year, man, the summertime, June and July is typically my two peak months of YouTube viewership, right? Like of the 12 months in the year, June and July is my best chance of getting the most number of views. And while that's great, it has its drawbacks. One of which is you get a lot of casual viewers, people that'll not really watching fishing videos any other time of year, not really interested in me, the person, or my channel. It's popping up on their feed because more people are searching fishing content and they're bored and they click on a video. And that one's getting a little nip. So you get a lot of, the comment box turns into a septic tank this time of year is what I'm getting at. And this guy commented the other day, wrote me a paragraph, man. He was going on about, he was 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video and hadn't seen a fish yet. And if I didn't catch something soon, he was leaving, and you know, he needs more action in his fishing videos. And I thought, who the hell? I mean, like, I get it, a normal edited video, you're gonna have some action a little bit more quickly, but like, that's about as unrealistic as it gets. Who the hell catches a fish? I mean, in my ultralight trips, sure. I'm out there bluegill fishing, throwing a gulp. I'm gonna get bit pretty quickly. I usually get a fish within the first 3 to 5 minutes, most trips. But 2.5 minutes, my gosh. I mean, barely get my lines baited in 2 minutes, buddy. Like that's asking a lot. So, some people though, they just ain't got the patience. I don't know if fishing is the right hobby for them when they're that impatient, because it's typically going to take a little while to get a bite. So to each their own, but I'll let you all talk amongst yourselves there in the comment box, give me feedback. We can rig it up however you want to. If we wait to turn the video on till I get that first bite, videos will probably be, you know, most of my trips, I've said before, are 4 to 5 hour range. Today will probably be, I got out here a little later this morning, so we'll probably be more 3.5, 4 hour range today. But if I'm planning on fishing a 4 hour session and it takes an hour to get the first bite, well, the video might be a little shorter that day, depending on. So, rod tip's wiggling. Something's working them worms. Probably them bluegill. I don't mind catching the bluegill. We just ain't targeting them today. You got to match your tackle to the size of the fish that you're catching. And a bluegill on a rod like this is not going to pull at all. I mean, we reeled that bluegill halfway in, and if my line hadn't have been coming in crooked, I wouldn't have really known that fish was even on. So my ultralight rod, on the other hand, that bluegill would have had it doubled in half, and we'd have had a good time with it. So it's all about your tackle. As Randy Goad, Trout Magnet Man, always says, it's not the, well, I done forgot his, I'm butchering his quote here. There's no such thing as a fish too small, tackle that's too big. I've butchered it, but you get the concept. It's, you match your tackle and to the appropriate size, and even smaller fish like a 5-6 inch bluegill can be a lot of fun. Something's over there working that worm on that middle rod, man. I see my rod's not really moving. Well, it's moving now, but my line's jumping. Oh, 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 he's got it. That's not a bluegill, folks. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I think we got us our first carp. He's going crazy out there, man. I hope he doesn't get my other lines. In a perfect world, we will get to a point at some point out here this morning. Oh, he's thrashing around out there. At some point, I would like to get to a point where they're biting so good we could eliminate one of these rods and give a little bit more space between our lines so that we don't get tangles. But right now, when we're first getting started, I want to try to put out as much scent as possible with that pack bait. And so I want a little bit more out there first thing. I'm pretty sure this is a carp. I didn't get a great look at him as he was thrashing around, but he's acting like a carp. If y'all want to grab that net and go ahead and net him for me, that'd be good. Oh, I've lied to you, it's a buffalo. We got one, our second one of the year, folks. Yes, yes, that's exciting. I have struggled this year with the buffalo. They have not been, you know, and I suck at buffalo fishing. I'm the first to admit it. Yes. But normally I just get them accidentally, you know, and this year I guess I just haven't been on them. But we got us one right here. Yes, y'all. Here, I'm gonna put y'all up here. Hey, do me a solid, would you? Take a picture of this fish. Take a picture of me and this fish up here. Let me get y'all. That camera's, I'm gonna be setting I'm gonna get the, it's gonna be, hold the camera straight, y'all. That damn camera, I gotta rig up something better for that camera mount. This is exciting though, man. Camera crooked or not. My biggest buffalo was in this creek. I'm pretty sure it was like 2 years ago, and it was, I mean, you can find the video on my channel if you want to see it. Like, it was a big one. Let me get this hook out. Still got a worm on there too, look at that. How about that? We got a refund on that worm. Man, y'all, this is awesome. Let me see if I can get hold of this thing. They're not the most cooperative fish. They like to flop around. Look at him. Oh, 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 hey, don't flop. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I feel him. Look at his tail. He wants to flop so bad he can't stand it. This is one of them kids right here, he never could sit still in school. He's got the ADHD or something. Get on out of here. I can tell you want to go. I'm surprised he was as cooperative as he was for as long as he was. Man, y'all, not the biggest buffalo, but I'm gonna give it a fist pump because we got us one. That's number 2 on the year. Yes. And pretty quickly, look right here, this rod. My line just jumped right here. I think we're about to get another one right here. We're about to get something. Pick up on it. Grab that rod for me, y'all. We got something else over here. I don't know what this is. Is this another one possibly? Or is this a cat? Where are we at on the video? What's the time frame here? Boy, y'all didn't have to fast forward very long, did you? 25 minutes in here. We've already got 2 solid fish in the bluegill, man. We're off to a dang good start today. I thought for sure it was going to take extra long today because I spooked all them fish. We're off to a good start, man. I hope this is a buffalo too. How awesome would it be if it was another buffalo? He's coming at us. No, this is a carp. This is a carp. He's disappointed in me because I'm disappointed in him that it wasn't another buffalo. He just told me he's disappointed in me. This carp right here is sick of my crap, buddy. He ain't putting up to my lip today. This one's on the pink corn setup. And worm, which that had been hit a few times. Who knows if the worm was still on or not. If we get the worm back, we'll know it was still on. If not, we'll just assume it was probably ripped off by the bluegill or something. Okay, folks. Buddy, we're on some fish right here, man. Pretty quickly in. The story will have to wait, I guess, about me going to war with the utility board. I'm gonna show y'all a video that I filmed on my phone today. Come in here, carp. We'll tell this carp about my war with the utility board too, because it's pending. But I would have went yesterday, but it was Friday afternoon when I realized the damage they had caused at my house, and obviously they're going to be closed Friday afternoon, weekend and whatnot, so I got to wait till Monday to go up there and battle somebody. But I'm going to show you, at some point out here this morning, I'm going to show you all a video I filmed on my phone. And this video, I'm ahead on videos, so the war will be waged by the time you see this. But I'd be curious to get some feedback if I'm in the wrong on this. My video, I was pissed when I filmed the video. I'm still pissed today, but I'm calmer. I'm calmer than this fish is. Hang on, fish. Let me get that hook out. There we go. I don't know why I'm putting a front camera mount up for you, fish. I don't know. You ain't front camera worthy. This fish got lucky. I was going into my story on the utility board. He ain't front camera worthy. You're a long, skinny fish. You need to go eat you a sandwich. Get you some bologna, fish. It's cheap. That fish says he don't eat bologna. He might eat it if I threw it out there on a hook, but otherwise he don't eat it. I ain't had bologna in years, personally. Bologna's one of them things, for me, it's got to be fried for me to enjoy bologna. Y'all, we've got to get some baits out, man. We've got one rod in the water right now. I gotta set these power poles again here. We shifted my weight and we've popped them things free. Well, folks, the people who fast forward just to see the fish caught, you didn't have to go far this morning. We'll do the same setup again here with the pack bait and worms. Try to get close to the same areas out there. I'm just gonna keep building up that scent out there. And hopefully as we make several casts this morning, the scent will be strong in that area. We don't really have any current flow in this creek, so we're kind of dependent on fish just working through this area, but these big shallow mud flat areas, the carp and buffalo seem to just kind of work through a lot, just searching for food. And so you put time into them, it seems like they'll eventually stumble into your baits. And I know there was some, I was coming to this, I wanted to come far back in this creek as I could to try to avoid boats today that would come in here potentially. I wanted to have some space, you know. And I chose this side of the creek because of the direction where the sun was coming up. That way because it's going to be hot today. It's fine right now, but it's going to be hot. And these trees right here were going to provide us with some shade as that sun comes up. So that's why I've set up here where I have. But I know there's fish here because I saw them scatter when I nailed the log. It never fails. If there's something down there to be hit, my trolling motor, it's like a heat-seeking missile on it, man. It's going to find whatever is there to be slammed into. Thread that worm on that hook one more time. Again, I ain't no professional worm hooker. We just run it on that hook 2 or 3 times and cast out. Good enough. Loosen our drag. We'll stick that back in the rod holder. Here's a question that I seem to be getting asked quite a bit on these carp escapades versus the catfish escapades. Is my rod holder set up? Because I use different rod holders when I am carp fishing versus catfishing. And these rod holders are the Scotty, they're called Scotty rocket launchers. And normally I've got the regular Scotties that go down in them bases when I'm catfishing because I'm suspend fishing usually. But with this carp fishing, obviously we're casting our baits out in front of us, and so I kind of like the rods to be up and spaced out, and so that's why I use this style, but I like them because they go in the same bases as my other ones, and so I can put them on when I'm carp fishing. When I'm catfishing, take them off, put the other ones back in. Easy peasy. But I get asked about that quite a bit, what I'm using and why, and well, hopefully that answers the question. Put us some more on here. That one, buffalo was nice. He gave us the worm back. The carp was kind of stingy. He kept the worm. He tried to tell me that bluegill had already ripped it off there, but I didn't believe him because he was so... You could just tell a carp like that, he wasn't going to tell you the truth. He was up to no good this morning. I'm good enough at reading carp at this point. I can tell when they're lying to me and when they ain't. It's a skill really to see who's lying to you and who's not. It's pretty obvious with the carp though. That carp was a liar. He had that worm. It's okay though, we got a whole tub of them worms. Are we back in the game? What do y'all want to hear first? Do you want to hear what Daphne done and the trouble she caused the other night, or you want to hear my war with the utility board? Pending, upcoming war. They have no idea how pissed off I am at them. What do y'all want to hear first? I'm gonna show the video that I filmed in my yard last night. But I'm gonna have to, because the video I'm ultimately going to send to the utility board or show somebody. So it's got my name and my address on there. So I obviously don't want to be shouting out my home address on this video. So I'm gonna have to maybe mute the first part of the video and then go into show you the rest of it there. I guess I got a fish right here already. We just cast that out. Look at this. We just cast it out. Something's already after it. Our line tightened up and now it's went slack. Something's knocked slack in it. You think that was another bluegill tugging on that worm potentially? Let me just flip that reel over there, tighten it up a little more since he knocked the slack in it. That's the kayak moving there as that line jumps around. I'll have to reset the dang power pole. Every time I move in this kayak, the power poles shift. Now that's how I've anchored myself down in this mud, is using these power poles on my kayak, because you can see here on this creek, like there is nowhere, with the exception of these people's yard over here, and I don't want to set up in somebody's yard, but everywhere else is like the water goes up to just overgrown tree line. Like there's no way to pull up on the bank somewhere. And if you get out, like right in front of the tree line, the water's too deep right there. It's over my boot line. And this time of year, man, I don't want to be walking around next to the shoreline anyway, because you're liable to get snakes either falling out of the trees on you or just swimming along right there along the shoreline. Like I don't want to be screaming like no little girl on this video because the snake's about got me or something. So we got to use something to anchor us down in the kayak. And unfortunately, while I don't really like the power pole setup, it's the best I've come up with to this point. So we're going with it. Let me get me a swig of water. I guess I'll tell you the utility board story first, since y'all can't decide what you want to hear first, Daphne or the utility board. So first off, before I show you what they've done, let me give you the backstory, because this ain't my first beef with the utility board, and it ain't my first beef with them over the issue from yesterday. So first off, the utility board where I live sucks. They recently came out with fiber optic internet a few months ago. I got on the list, was told 1 to 4 weeks. 1 to 4 weeks go by, still no internet. Y'all heard about the AT&T debacle I had with the line salesman with them a few months back. Like I told that story on here. AT&T was only able to be in that situation because the utility board hadn't showed up to install the fiber optic internet. I send multiple emails trying to get a follow-up because 6 weeks had went by, 8 weeks had went by, can't get any return. You go out there, you talk to somebody in person, like, well, they shouldn't have give you a time frame because it's months behind. Like I can't tell you what. And I'm like, they told me why are you telling me 1 to 4 weeks if you don't have one damn clue when somebody's going to show up? So anyway, I don't like utility board. So that's strike one there with the fiber optic. Strike two, which I guess strike two technically was strike one because it happened, and then the utility or the internet came after the fact. So I guess I'll tell you strike one here first. Last fall, hold on, pause the story a second. This rod right here, my line tightened up over there. We need to catch a fish on that rod. That's the one that ain't got a fish. I see something awake right out there too, right up above. Something come up on the water right out there above where that line is. And I just saw another one surface right out there. Something made that line tight, and it's maybe one swam through it. So anyway, last fall, this was, I think it was September. Regular viewers heard me talking about this, but I was cleaning up some stuff at my house, clearing some woods. I was expanding my fence. I was doing some manual labor tasks, and one of the manual labor tasks I done is I went down the left side of my front driveway. My property has 2 driveways, And along the left side of my front driveway, there were some trees that were getting up near the power lines. And I know you can't get utility board to do crap about it. So I just went ahead and cut them trees down. I'm not a professional landscaper or anything, but I have a chainsaw and I can run it and I can cut some small trees down. And I thought, I'm gonna take care of this problem before they grow a little more and get up in these lines. And so I went down that whole left side there and cleared all of that out, because the way my property sits, I have an easement there for that front driveway because it goes through the neighbor girl's property a little bit. So basically the left side, for video reference, where I'm gonna show you here in a few minutes on this video, left side of the driveway, my property, right side of the driveway, her property. So the left side, which belonged to me, I cleared all of those trees. Now, I'm out there doing that last year, and I notice while I'm down there clearing that the power line, so the power line, there's right next to the neighbor girl's carport, which is just you'll see in the video probably, it's a trash pit. I think this girl's a hoarder. She doesn't she throws stuff out, but it doesn't get thrown away. Like, it's just piles of trash out here at her carport. It's very odd. I've met the girl. I've talked to her numerous times. She's a really nice girl. She's a really nice person. I can't understand it though. But I mean, her property's nothing but trash. I think she's a hoarder. But anyway, I'm out there clearing them trees on my property. I talked to her a little bit, and I notice the power pole that sits right there by her carport, there's a transformer on it, and the line runs up to my house. Hold on, we got another fish working this one here. Oh, he's got it. Oh, he had it. He had it. That line got tight, man. He bent that rod. He was tugging on it. Let's tighten that line back up. He may have got our worm just then. We stealing our worms, fish. If you ain't gonna hook up, don't interrupt the damn story. These people want to hear about my war with the utility board. Inconsiderate fish. He's gone now, apparently. So anyway, the line that goes from the neighbor girl's pole there by her carport to my house, she has a tree growing up by that carport, and there's a branch I notice laying across the line, and it's like sagging the line. And while I'm good enough with the chainsaw to cut down small trees that aren't touching a power line, that situation, with that being a larger tree right next to her carport and the power line, and a branch physically on the line, like sagging it down, that's kind of above my skill level. You know what I mean? Like, that's above my pay grade. And so I had talked to her while I was out there doing that, and I pointed that out to her. And she was like, yeah, that tree kind of scares me. Every time it storms, I'm always afraid it's going to fall and hit the carport or hit the house. And I was like, well, tell you what I'll do. I'll call the utility board, because that's something they do. I mean, if trees are laying across power lines, they have a tree cutting crew to come deal with that kind of thing, right? So I was like, I'll call them and have them take care of it. And I had talked to her out there, and she's like, I don't care if they cut the whole tree down, you know, because it scared her. Again, every time the wind blows, like, if that tree gets toppled over, it's going to take her out of her house, carport, all that. So anyway, I call utility board. Actually, I went out there, excuse me. I went out there to their $1 million complex. I guess they're making so much money off of our electricity bills that they've recently moved to a new complex. It's huge. So I walk in, talk to the girl at the desk. She ain't the person I need, of course. So she sends me down across the other side of this complex. I finally get to somebody that knows something. She gives me a phone number to the tree trimming guy. Wish I still had that phone number after last night. Can't find it though. I call him up. To his credit, he comes out a couple days later. Hold on, we got middle rod here wanting to interrupt the story. The line jumped. Gone now. Them fish are playing with them worms out there. So again, to his credit, he comes out a couple days later. I'm home when he comes, and I go out there and talk to him and point out the tree, and he's asking me what I want done with it. Do I want the branch cut, or do I want the whole tree taken down? Hold on. This one's got a little bit more weight on it there. Did he? He's still working it, because, okay, he's got it. He's got it. We're hooked up again here. Pause the story a second, y'all. More details coming. It's going to get better, I promise. It's a long-winded story, but I'm trying to set it up so you get the full experience of why I'm so pissed off after yesterday. I don't know that this, first off, this ain't a carp. If it is, it's the smallest one of all time. We may have us another bluegill on here or something. I don't know what's up with this. I don't know what this is yet. This is going to be a surprise fish right here. You never know what you're going to catch when you got some worm. Okay, he's going to take off now. I take back what I said. I was reeling him in, and he was barely fighting, and I thought, maybe had a bluegill. He is not a bluegill. He's not a bluegill, folks. We've got something bigger than I thought. I guess he was just swimming with me as I was reeling him in. Oh, it's another buffalo. It's another buffalo, man. One buffalo in the first 6 months of the year. Now here we've got two in a few minutes. This is awesome. This is awesome, y'all. I'm reeling that damn thing in thinking I got a bluegill on. Oh yeah, yeah, buffalo. This is worth interrupting our story for. Come here, buffalo. Let's get you in that net. I think this one might be a little bigger than the last one. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I just got wet. Did y'all get wet? He just splashed me good, buddy. I got it running down my face right now. You angry old buffalo. You ought to be happy to get on this video. Goodness great, did he get you wet? Y'all, every time I get splashed in the face, y'all never do. The lens is perfectly clean. Oh my gosh, he's mad. The camera's crooked again. I can't get y'all to hold that camera straight. All I want's a picture with this thing. I can't ever get you to hold the camera right. Listen, buffalo, I'm gonna need you to calm down. You think it's these worms that's helping us with the buffalo today? Or just right place, right time? The way to experiment would be throw out some without the worms. But I don't want to waste time. If this is, regardless of why they're eating it, they're eating it. So we'll keep doing it, but I'm just curious. I've sucked all year with the buffalo, and now I've got two here within a few minutes. So I'm just curious. Hold on, fish, I'm coming. Let me get hold of it there. There we go. Let's get that out the way. I bet you this thing, well, the way he just splashed me before we landed him, I don't think he's gonna cooperate, but we're gonna try. I wanna hold you up here, buffalo. You be good. Yes, man. Yes. Not very big, you know, but I mean, it's pretty cool. Look at his he's wanting to go. He's wanting to go. That's him waving bye to you, and there he goes. I could feel it coming up in him. He was gonna flop. They do not want to cooperate for a picture. Yes, y'all. That makes me happy. I'm still pissed at the utility board, but that makes me happy. I can separate the emotions. Oh. Before we rebait that, let me stand up here. We got something here on this middle rod. That line got tight. Something had, something had tightened that line, but it seems to be gone now. I think some of these fish are maybe just working these worms. Maybe, and it could be more bluegill potentially, just kind of tugging on the worms, biting them. This one over here, the line's going tight now. While they mess around, let's go ahead and get our other rod baited and get it cast back out. I just think they're working them worms. That's okay. They can sit out there and play with them worms. Maybe when they're bluegill are tugging on them, maybe it's causing a little commotion and kicking up some of them breadcrumbs out there and just helping with our scent and all. Anything we can do to draw more fish in today is going to be a welcome thing. Where was I at on the utility board story? So he had come out, okay, so he had come out last fall. This would have been September. And I'm out there when he's there, and he asked me what I want done with the tree. Do I want the whole tree cut down? Do I just want the branch that's across the lines cut? And I was like, well, it ain't my tree. Like I don't own that property. But I said, the girl that lives there, she wasn't home at the time. I said, she told me that she was fine with the whole tree being cut down, but I said, I'm not comfortable telling you to go ahead and do it because, it's a he said, she said waiting to happen. These kind of things happen, like I don't want to be a part of that. I'm like, you probably need to talk to her directly. So he was going to get with her. He was going to leave a note on her door or whatever. And he said, we'll take care, whether we do the branch or the whole tree, we'll get it taken care of. Great. Well, again, that was September. It's now June, folks, and that branch before yesterday is still laying across that line. Nothing had been done, and what is that, 9 months? Nothing's been done. So there's where we were at with that. So like, technically that was strike one with the utility board, not following up. Strike two was the fiber optic internet debacle. Not returning emails, not getting any solid update on that. Had the whole AT&T mess because of the utility board, essentially. So I don't have a great relationship with the utility board. Anyway, so we're setting the stage for what happens yesterday. So probably, I guess it's been maybe 2 weeks now, a week or two. One of the tree trimming crew trucks stops by my house. And they were going to leave one of them little cards on the door just to let me know they were going to be in the area trimming trees. But I was home, and so the guy said, hey, we're going to be out here sometime in the next couple of weeks trimming trees. And I'm like, well, good, because hell, I done called you 9 months ago about this branch that's laying across the line over here at my neighbor's house, but whatever. At least they're finally getting to my neighborhood, right? So, man, this line is completely slack right here. They do not want me telling this damn story uninterrupted. I want to pick up on this rod. The line's completely slack. Do you think there's a fish on there? I may be setting this hook on air, but I'm going to set the hook. No, he's on there. He's on there. He had it. I knew it. That line was slack. It was completely slack. He had hit it and I guess either swam toward us or knocked either we had slack in the line, folks, but we got one on here. Oh, he's going to go over that other line. We're going to have us a tangle. I hope he swam over it and didn't get in it. I think we got lucky. I think he swam right over that line and didn't get wrapped up in it. Is this another potential buffalo? He's not running like a carp, and carp make them bolting runs. it's something a little bit bigger. I mean, I can feel the weight of him. He's got some weight, but he's just, it's a unique fight right now. He's mad. He knows he's hooked, buddy. He's mad now. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. It could be another buffalo. It could be a cat. I don't know. I'm just hanging on, man. I'm just hanging on. I want to get a look at him, though. I hope he don't get me over there and break me off and something. Man, y'all, we're on them pretty quick today. This is a good day. This is a real good day, folks. I hope y'all having fun. I'm having fun today. I'm gonna tighten down on him a little bit here, see if I can turn him before he goes back over there. And we got lucky the first time he swam over that line. I don't know if we'll have the same luck twice. Okay, good, he's going under it this time. Oh, it's a buffalo. We got us another one. Boy, it's a buffalo kind of day. Which way are you going, buffalo? Oh, crap, I just got my line and my dang, there it comes. I have my line and my motor cord. Oh. Easy, buffalo. Let me get to net. Let me get to net here. Don't go up there in my motor. He got up there in my motor. Now he's on the other side. Come back this way. Come back this way. This is a good one. This is a good one right here. Oh crap, drop the net. Yes, boy, they keep getting bigger, y'all. They keep getting bigger. Easy, buffalo. Easy, easy peasy, George and Wheezy. Yes, y'all. I don't know why I'm whispering. Man. I mean, I hoped we might get some buffalo today. I was not expecting 3. Especially, I mean, this early into the trip. Oh, man, y'all look at that thing. That's a nice one right there. It's nice. Let me put you back up here. Y'all my personal photographer. I can't get you to land no fish. You won't reel one in. You won't land a fish with this net for me. At least be kind enough to take the picture. That's all I ask of you. Easy, easy. Yeah, this one I think's a little bigger maybe than the last one. Yeah, you hit that line and just slack in it. And we got him though, by gosh. I thought I might be setting that hook on air, just embarrassing myself. But we got him. Yes, I love it. This makes me happy, y'all. They're trash fish to most people. They're extremely slimy. I love it though, man. It's just, they're a unique fish and I don't understand them. I couldn't, if you told me I had to come out and catch a buffalo today, I'd probably fail. I mean, I suck at it. But I do luck into them from time to time and when I'm carp fishing, and here we are, the 3 of them today. This one's actually been surprisingly calm. Whew. Yes, y'all. I don't know why I'm whispering, but I am. Yes. Well, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again right here. We're gonna do it again right here. We got another one on. We got another fish on. I don't know what this is. We ain't gonna get this utility board story out today. This is the best break the utility board's ever caught for me. Well, this thing's coming right at me, man. Oh, and he just come off. He was swimming right at us and he just come off. Well, poop whistle. Okay. Well, let's our power poles have come free. Let's try to get these things reset. All my shifting around my weight here, and one of them had popped out. There we go. Okay, we gotta get some baits out here, y'all. I really am genuinely curious to know, because this is the first time that I have used worms with my carp rigs this year. Is that the reason why we're getting the buffalo today? Or is it just maybe there's a bunch of buffalo in here right now for some reason? The way to test it is to throw out some without any worms on and see what happens. But I just don't want to waste time with it. Like what the rig we're doing with the worms, whether they're eating the rig because of the worm or not, it's working. So the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just keep rolling with what we got going on here. But I am genuinely curious, like, because I'm not opposed to putting worms on my rigs all the time. Like, I've caught, it's not like a buffalo exclusive thing. Like, I've caught carp with doing this as well. So what's going on here with our hair rig? I think we've wrapped this around all cattywampus here. I don't know that it really matters, but come on, rig, we ain't got time for this. There we go. There we go. We'll loop that thing around there. Okay. Let's just stick this worm on and be done with it. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. I want to get this back out. Another night crawler. I think these are Canadian night crawlers. Don't know what's special about Canada worms versus American worms. It's probably why they're so damn expensive. Almost $5 for a tub of worms these days. I guess Canada's probably charging us an import fee or something. You know, them Canadians are. I'm trying to think if I threw part of that pack bait off. That's okay. I'm trying to think if I've ever even known any Canadians. I dated a girl one time. Her sister chose to be a Canadian. She had married a man from Canada. Boy, I've got my line right here in a mess. How the hell did we do that? But she had married a man in Canada and got her I think where she could be an American and a Canadian. Some kind of visa, dual citizen visa or something. Personally, I think you ought to be one or the other. I mean, pick a side, pick a country. Who are you going to pull for in the Olympics if you're technically a citizen of both countries? You know, we need to know what team you're on. But yeah, I dated that girl, and her sister had found her a Canadian businessman. I guess he was probably working for the CIA or something, truth be told. We know. All them businessmen that travel the globe, let's face it, they're all probably secret agents. How did we get this line? Okay, there it comes. I don't know how we done that. But either way, we got it solved now. We're about to be back in the game now on this rig. And then maybe finally, hopefully, I'll continue on with this utility board story. We'll show you the video of what they've done to my property. You can tell me if I should be pissed off or not. I am pissed off. Whether you think I should be or not, I'm pissed. And I've got to figure out how I'm going to handle this situation. The best thing for me would probably be to let it go, but I'm not really the type of person to let it go. So anyway, but to get on with it here, See if we can finally get this story out. So, oh my gosh, we're already, hang on. We ain't telling no damn stories today, apparently. We're hooked up. Oh my gosh, he just come off too. We're snake bitten, y'all. That's 2 in a row. What happened with that? Got our worm. All right, well, we'll rebait and send it out here in a second. So, to recap, tree's been laying across the line forever now. Tree trimming crew stops by my house a week or 2 back, says, hey, we're going to be in the area trimming trees. Give you a heads up. And I thought, great, you know, because they're going to finally get this tree that's laying across the line that runs to my house. But I was a little surprised that they were going to come notify me that they were going to be in the area. I thought maybe they just tell everybody, because there's no trees on my property that need to be trimmed. I handle all that myself. So they have no reason to be on my property. Well, yesterday I get home and they have trimmed the trees. So they did not cut down the tree that the neighbor girl wanted cut down. They just cut the branch off, but then they also cut on the right side of my driveway more of her other trees that were either had branches hanging over the top of the lines or growing up near the lines. They went ahead and trimmed those branches off, right? Just maintenance stuff, which is fine. It needs to be done. I got no problem with them being out there trimming her trees. And again, they didn't have to trim any on my property because I knocked out the left side of the driveway, which is on my land. I knocked that out last fall. And there's nothing in the fenced-in area of my yard. There are no trees near those lines. So they did not cut any trees on my property yesterday. But for some unknown reason, while they had no reason to be on my property, they were on my property. And apparently drove their heavy machinery multiple times. They either had multiple vehicles going across my yard, or the same large vehicle going back and forth multiple times, because they have tore up my yard. You know, my regular viewers, y'all have heard me talk about this, and my channel members especially, because I do some channel member videos around my house, just kind of give people behind the scenes stuff of what's going on in real life. And last fall, one of my, oh, big takedown right here, y'all. Boy, that snuck up on me there. I didn't see a rod or nothing happening. He just took off. He bolted. This might be a carp. Boy, that one. Oh no, he just come free too. What is happening here? 3 in a row? 3 in a row have popped free. We're snake bitten all of a sudden, y'all. Well, all right, I guess we're gonna bait another rod here in a minute when we cast this one out. Man, y'all need to get your act together here. Keep these fish on the line now. You're embarrassing yourselves. This is getting out of control. I've had some bad fishing partners before, but y'all losing 3 fish in a row now. This is getting, y'all trying to set a record here or something. Goodness gracious, I can't believe y'all have lost 3 fish in a row. I mean, he was hooked too. He was pulling. Now I done forgot what I was in mid-story. Okay, yeah. So utility board has no reason to be on my property because they don't have to trim any of my trees. But yet I get home and I've got all these ruts in my yard. They've driven behind my shed and went out my gate through that front driveway, which they have no reason to do because they should be coming up the neighbor girl's driveway that way. They have no reason to be coming, because the way my property sits, the front driveway goes out to the highway, and there's a side road over here behind me, that my back driveway, which is what I always use because it's a less busy road. I never even use the front driveway that I share with the neighbor girl. Oh, I never use it, but I have the gate there because I have some TVA power lines on my property, and I'm required to have those gates, so in case they need to access their big power lines, they have the ability to do so. But otherwise, that gate never gets opened, the driveway never gets used, it's there. But it would have been a perfect opportunity for the utility board to use it, because again, it's the neighbor girl's property that they're cutting, so why didn't they come up her driveway? But instead, no, they drive up from the other way, drive through my yard, either with multiple vehicles or multiple times, and now I have all these ruts all over my yard, which again, my channel members and people who have watched these videos for a long time have heard me talk about last fall, how I had some dirt brought in because I had some holes where I'd had my yard expanded years ago. The trees that were taken down, the root systems have started to rot, and I'm getting these depressions in my yard and these holes and stuff. So I brought in some dirt, fill all that in, level up some stuff, smooth everything out in my yard. And I'll be damned, TVA or the utility board comes in there yesterday with their heavy-ass machinery, and now I've got these ruts, some of them over 4 inches deep, and I measured, by God, you'll see that in the video, all over my damn yard. And, of course, there's nothing from the utility board, no note saying, hey, sorry we tore up your yard, we'll be back to fix it, nothing. And so I'm pissed about it, you know, because they have, look, utility board has the right to maintain their lines. I get that. But they need to be held accountable and held responsible when they damage property while they're doing that, especially when it ain't even my property that they're working on. When they're on the neighbor girl's property, they should use her driveway. And if they come through my property and do damage, boy, I mean, I feel like I got a right to be pissed off, but I'm gonna show you this video here. If these fish will leave us alone a minute, if they ain't gonna stay hooked up, they oughtn't to even bite the lines. I'm gonna get this video queued up and I'm gonna show you. It don't show up particularly good with the lighting and all, like how deep these ruts are, but again, I had to measuring tape because I wanted to make sure that whoever I send this video to gets the full experience. I want them to know how pissed off I am, which again, you know, whether or not I should send this video. There's an old saying, folks, you catch more flies with honey. And in my younger, oh, here comes some damn geese. They better not crap on us. They crapped right there, did you see it? Boy, they missed us by 20 feet, y'all, they tried. I don't care how many fish we catch, how many buffalo we get. If we get doo-dooed on out here, it's a bad day. Are they circling back? Here they come again. They missed us the first time. They're gonna try it again. Get on, geese. Y'all, them damn geese, man. They got it in for us. Lord. Anyway, now that trauma's over with. So, you know the old saying, you catch more flies with honey. And in my younger days, I think I was a little bit more professional, a little bit more tactful in these situations. But as I've gotten older, when somebody wrongs me or is just disrespectful or inconsiderate, it sticks in my craw a little more. And I've always been somebody with a pretty short temper. Like, I'm a laid back person most of the time, but I can go 0 to ass whooping like that, man. And as I've gotten older, most people tend to, I think, kind of mellow out as they get older, but my temper is still, I can turn it on. I can flip that switch real quick. And so as I've gotten older too, like I'm just losing my ability to be professional and tactful. And I guess I lost that because it doesn't work anymore. When you go in, you try to be nice and say, well, such and such has happened, yada, yada, yada. Nice people just get walked on. There's no customer service anymore. They just want to, this person will want to pass the buck to this person, and they'll tell you to call this person or go here, do that. Like, you can't get anything done by being nice. You just waste a bunch of time. So I typically go in and just lighten asses on fire, because at least when you do that, you may still not get anything done in a timely manner, but you at least get where you need to go to the right person in a timely manner, because you know what I mean? Like you're going to get some attention when you go in showing your ass. Everybody's going to look at an ass. I don't care whose it is. If it's got hair on it, pimples, maybe some cellulite and dimples, you show your ass, it gets looked at. So that's where I'm kind of at. And this video, there may be some language on here, potentially, but I'm pissed off in the video, and I need to send it to somebody, and it's the weekend, so it's going to be Monday before I can do it. And while I'm still going to be pissed off on Monday, now that I'm a little less, the heat of the moment, I guess, has passed from last night. I don't know, y'all be the judge of this. Should I send this video? Should I do another video calmly showing them what they have done? Or should I just let it go and fix it? Because I could fix it my damn self in 20, 30 minutes, just get out there with a hoe and a mattock and smooth everything out. But I shouldn't have to, because they shouldn't have damaged my property, because they shouldn't have even been on my property. And when they realize they had messed it up, and surely they have to know when they drive their heavy machinery through people's grass in their yards, they're going to cause problems. They should leave a note on the door and say, hey, sorry what we've done. We'll be back to fix it. But they didn't. So I'm gonna cue up this video here. Give me a second, y'all. I gotta, again, I don't care y'all knowing my name. Obviously y'all know my name, but I don't necessarily want to give out my address on this video. So the video, I say my name and address, I'm gonna mute it here until, I'm gonna try to read my lips on this video until I get past that. Give me a second here. Okay, I think we're good here. All right, so this is the video I filmed I hope y'all can see that with the glare here. We'll see. Y'all give me some feedback. Hopefully these fish will give us just 2 minutes here. Let me check my lines here before I start it. We got one hitting this. Well, these damn fish are so rude. We're trying to tell a utility board story here. I'm declaring war on the utility board, and these fish, hang on, we're going to get us one here. That line is jumping every which way. We got something over there, at least after the worm. It's taken me damn near an hour to get this story out because of these fish. You think he's got it? Look at that line. He's got it. He's swimming. He's swimming with it. Will y'all reel this one in? Will you keep him hooked up this time? We're 0 for the last 3. We need to, I don't care what this fish is, we need to land him. We need to break this streak of losing fish. We need to get that Judy off of us. Yeah, I'll be damned, it's another one. It's another buffalo. This one's a smaller one, but it's another one. We are getting eat up with buffalo today, y'all. This is awesome. This one's a little one though. I think he's gonna be the smallest one thus far, but I don't mind. I don't mind it one bit. Man, this is, I cannot believe we've caught this many buffalo. I hope to get a buffalo day. I come out here, I hope for it, because I've caught them here before. But a good day for me out here would have been getting some carp and 1 buffalo, maybe 2 buffalo. We're tearing them up here, buddy. Come here, buffalo, come here. Get over here now. As he splings water all over me. Hopefully he didn't get you. Get that net. Oh, I missed him. Boy, he doesn't want to get in that net. Okay, there he is. Okay, yes. Yes, sirree. Whew, y'all. I promise we're going to get this story done of how I'm about to wage war on the utility board. This buffalo, he just couldn't wait to bite this. He said he's been waiting all year. Oh, he just unhooked himself. Thank you, buffalo. You got some sores on you. This fish here, he's been with a dirty woman. That happens, fish. It could happen to the best of us. You got to take care of yourself. Get you some salve and some antibiotics there, fish. You need to take care of that. Yeah, smallest buffalo thus far, I believe, but I'm happy to have him either way. I don't care how big they are. I just think they're cool fish, and I've been in a slump for them all year to this point, and makes me happy to get them. Did y'all get wet? No, y'all survived it again. Let's get this other rig out, and I'm gonna try to show you this. If these fish will give me like 3 minutes, I'll show you this video. We've had an active morning out here. I mean, imagine if we had landed those 3 fish that we lost. Like our numbers would be really good for, where are we at? Well, I mean, we're barely over an hour here, hour and 20 minutes. This is pretty awesome, man. It's a good day. I thought now is when I kind of thought we'd be getting bit. We've already got several fish. And we ain't seen a single boat come back up in here. Not a single boat. We've had this place to ourselves. Our own little private creek. On a weekend. Yeah, I don't know if it's location, bait, worms. Don't know. But we're going to keep doing it. Hell, we might run out of one. I thought this tub of worms would last us. No, I thought I'd take some home with me and throw them in my garden. It won't bother me if we go through the whole tub, though. If we go through this whole tub of worms, things have went right for us. All right. Lord, I got too much slack in my line here. What's happening here? What have I done? There we go. There we go. Okay, let's get this thing cast back out. I got dirt and pack bait and everything else all over my hands. No, I threw off most of that pack bait. That's okay. My pack bait, I spooked one. Did you see that? I spooked him when that hit the water over there. He was near that area, probably eating them other crumbs. My pack bait's a little drier than it needs to be. It needs to be a little bit more moist. This is one of them words that everybody hates. Some people don't like hearing the word moist. I'm probably losing viewers by saying the word moist. I don't know why that word bothers people, but for some reason it does. You can't say moist. Okay. Now that we've said moist and we've run some people off, let's get to the main event here. I'm going to show you this video here, hopefully before the next fish bites. Let's see. Let me just make sure we're... Oh, crap.
Runs the tree trimming crew.
Hold on. Let me cue it back up. Okay. Let me turn up the volume here. Hopefully you can see this mess. Let me just make sure again we ain't got no... By damn, this line's slack. Hang on. This fish, something's hit this line. You think we got one on? think we've got one on. I'm gonna jerk his jaw. Got one. I don't know what this is. Oh no, y'all. We've caught the wrong animal. We've got a turtle. I hope it ain't a snapper. Okay, it's a little slider. Oh, I'm sorry, little slider. Come here. Come here. I hate hurting a turtle. I saved a box turtle the other day. I don't see box turtles like I used to, but I saved one. I helped him cross the street. Come here, buddy. Come here, let me get it out. Little slider. Come here, I'll get it, buddy. I know, you got that old worm and you had a bad day. Come here, I'll get it. Oh no. He's hissing at me, but hold on. Let me get this net out the way so I can see something here. Come here, buddy. I'll get it. You got it right through that bottom jaw, didn't you? Hang on, hang on. He don't want to open his head up. There we go. We got it. You want to poke your head out? You want to say thank you for me getting that hook out? He's cute as can be, ain't he? I like turtles. You tell these people hi. Tell them to hit the like and subscribe, would you? He ain't gonna tell you nothing. He's gonna claw my hands, what he's gonna do. They got some claws on him. Look at them things. That turtle I had, I talked about, I had a pet turtle for a long time. It was a slider, actually. He would catch the fish, then put in the tank with his mouth, and then he would take his claws and kind of tear them. That's how he would kind of tear them apart into smaller pieces to eat them. I ought to keep you in the kayak today, Turtle, and just have us a mascot out here for the rest of our trip. You need to wash your shell off. It's got mud all over it. You should have took a bath before you got on this video. Go on, you want out of here that bad. Let's let you go home. You take your Tylenol there for your sore lip. Old turtle. So now we've caught bluegill, carp, buffalo, and turtle. That's a hell of a day, folks. I hate sticking a turtle like that because I like turtles. I don't want to ever hurt a turtle. But I'm glad if we're going to catch a turtle, I'd rather it be a slider than a snapper. If that had been a snapper, he wasn't coming in. We wouldn't have been handling him. I don't know if we're going to get this damn story finished or not. I've teased y'all with this. I guess I should have waited for a catfish trip or something when the action was a little slower. But hell, I thought, well, we'll have an hour before we get that first bite. It'd be a good day to tell some stories. This is the kind of thing, you out here on a real fishing trip with me, and somebody's crossed me like the utility board has, you'd be hearing me go on about them. So this is about it, buddy. It's as real as it gets on this fishing trip with me today, by gosh. I'm gonna run this hook through this worm. We're gonna get it cast back out, and we will try once again to show you all this video. You think we'll get the video done this time before the next fish? Okay. This line's slack. Let's see what's going on with it. Is it just where the kayaks move, maybe? Maybe that's where the kayaks move. I don't feel anything on that one. Okay. Let me get all the dirt and pack bait off my hands. I'm gonna try to show you all this video. And I know it may not look as bad as it is, but it's, I promise you, if you were walking through my yard and could physically see it and step in these grooves, you would know how bad it is. Okay, let's see if we can play this for y'all here. Finally, maybe. Let me look at the lines. Okay, we're good. Let's go for it. Oh, crap.
Is for whoever at LCUB runs the tree trimming crew, because I got a big problem with you and your crew. Y'all come on my property today to trim some trees, but you didn't trim any trees on my property. You trimmed trees on my neighbor's property. So this is my property line here. Outside the fence, you trimmed these trees that were hanging over the power lines. Great, fine, I get it. It needs to be done, right? But the problem I have is you didn't come up her driveway. You didn't come up this driveway here to cut them. Hell no. You come around my yard here, behind my shed, and you've tore up all my grass. There's no tree. You didn't trim this tree. You didn't trim that one. There's nothing here for you to trim. No damn reason for you to come on my property. But you did. You drove your heavy machinery, and apparently it looks like multiple vehicles, or you had went up and down multiple times.
Crap. We got a fish on here. To be continued, y'all. I want you to watch this and tell me if I'm in the wrong here. But this fish here, he don't want you seeing it. It's so action-packed out here. I can't believe we're getting this many fish. I mean, I can, but I can't. I've had a lot of days like this, but there's oftentimes you have to wait to get it going. We got it going quickly today. This is another one. He's not acting like a carp. Could it be another buffalo? He's not, I mean, he's got some weight. I'm pulling weight, but he's not really, he's swimming. He's not just running. I wonder, it's carp just, you know how they are. I wonder if this ain't another buffalo. We have hit the buffalo jackpot today. Why they're in here in such good numbers right now, I don't know. It's another one. By gosh, this is another smaller one right here. But it's another one, sure as the world. Hell, I've been lost counting. What is this, 5 or 6? This is amazing. I don't know how many buffalo I've caught on one trip before, but I'm sure we're at the record now. I'm sure we are. He just swam into the mud or something. He's got a big glob of mud on his head. Look at that. He just swam head first into the mud. What'd you do that for, fish? I'm gonna get the net ready here. He decided to take back off. He's actually wanting to pull a little bit now. I'll be doggone, man. Yeah, this has got to be a record for the most number of buffalo I've caught on a trip, and especially for this early on into the trip. Okay. Come in. He's actually bigger than I thought when I first looked at him. Calm it down. Calm it down. Boy, he's flapping that dang net around. He's gonna knock me out with that thing. Yeah, he's way bigger than I thought, y'all. I mean, he felt like he had some weight to him at first. Well, I first got to look, and these buffalo, they're just like, I've got this line wrapped every which way. Bear with me a second here, folks. I got that line all 12. I was trying to give myself slack and got line all over the rod tip. Carp and buffalo, man, you look at them in the water and you think, well, they're not very big. And And then you get them up in there in the kayak and you're like, okay, that was much bigger than I thought he was. I'm gonna set y'all back up here so you can get a picture with me. Let me turn that screen on so I can see what y'all looking at. This is a good one, man. Oh man, we've got another one on this middle rod. He's going crazy. Easy, easy, buddy, easy, 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 easy. We've got another fish on the middle rod. I want to get rid of this one though before I reel him in. This one here will act a fool. Easy, buddy, easy, easy. Oh, you splash me with slime or water or something. I may not get a picture with this one, y'all. Okay, snap that picture quick before he flops again. Get out of here then, fish. I think our other one, he's either come off or he's come toward us. Let's grab y'all, put y'all back in the chest here. Y'all should have handled this. He's on there, I feel him, he's on there. Y'all should have been reeling in this fish while I was trying to wrangle the other one there. Boy, we're on them today, man. There's a bunch of them in here. This one's not bolted. Is this another buffalo potentially? Is this another buffalo? This is going to be, aside from that huge buffalo I got there a couple years ago, again, in this creek, this is going to end up being, he's running now. This is going to end up being my best day of buffalo fishing ever. Don't get in that other line. He's over there by it. Turn left, fish. You can swim all to the left you want. We got no line out over there right now. Boy, I don't know how I've lucked into these fish today. Right place, right time. There's just, I guess, a bunch in here. And they either want them some fake corn or they want them some worms. I'd about be willing to bet you a shiny nickel this is another one. It is. Sure as the world. Sure as the world it is. I'll be doggone, man. I know this is a record for me. I've lost count now how many buffalo we've gotten. But I know for sure this is my best day ever. Numbers wise. None of these have come close to the biggest one I ever caught, but numbers wise, I mean, I've never got this many. This is another solid fish, man. Oh, and he's wound up. Let me give myself some slack here. Oh man, y'all. This is absolutely incredible to have this many buffalo. Again, I know most people out there don't give a crap because buffalo are considered trash fish, right? These are dog food fish. That's what the commercial guys do. They catch these, they put out their nets and they get these buffalo and carp and grind them up and they make dog food, cat food, stuff like that with them. But man, I don't care if they're considered trash fish, sport fish, whatever. I like catching them. And I suck at catching them. So to have a day like today, it's awesome, man. He's knocked our, well, you know what? We're going to learn something here about these rigs because this one has knocked off our fake corn. He's knocked it off. He's broke the hair rig stop. And so we're just going to have a hook out there with a worm on it now when we throw it back out because I don't want to waste time replacing that rig with as many fish as we apparently have out here in front of us right now. Oh, easy, easy. Let me get hold of you. Let me get hold of you there. Man. That's awesome. Oh, I love it. Yes, y'all. Man, I'm pumped up. I can't believe we've got so many today. I can't believe it. Man, I'm happy about it though. My net is just pure slime. These things are, you think catfish are slimy? Handle you a buffalo, buddy. They are a slimy, slimy fish. We got to reset our power poles. Let me drive them things back down. Every time I shift my weight forward, them things want to pop up on us. Let's cast them back out, and I promise you we're going to try to get through this damn video so you can see how the utility board has tore up my yard and pissed me off to no end. While we're getting baited up, I'll tell you a story about TVA. So I have some large TVA power lines that cross my property too. And I have 3 of their poles that go across. It was last year or the year before, TVA came and replaced them poles. It used to be wooden poles, and they were pretty rotted. Birds and stuff had gotten there and built nests. There was holes in them. Just between the birds, termites, etc., like they were looking rough. So TVA came and replaced them. They told me when they were going to be there. They told me in advance that they would probably mess up my yard. And they said, we will fix it. So they come out, they fixed their poles. Sure enough, they had their heavy machinery up there, tore up the yard. Not too bad. I mean, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But nevertheless, they did mess up the yard a little bit. And so they come and brought machinery. They actually graded off the whole area where they had been around them power lines and sowed it with grass and put down straw over the seed and all that. Like they went above and beyond. Like I was pretty impressed with what they done. So that, when the utility board came yesterday that cut the neighbor girl's trees, which again ain't even on my property, they got no reason to be on my property, I would expect them to at least take care of the situation. But they just leave and don't give a damn, don't say anything about it, don't leave a note, an apology, nothing. So you're going to see in a minute here. If we can ever get these lines out and get just 3 minutes apiece between fish, I'm going to show you this video. But honestly, if these fish keep interrupting the video, that's not the worst thing in the world, because I'd come out here today to catch us some fish. Especially when it's these buffalo, man. Yeah, he pulled that hair rig, the stop over there. I guess the little plastic piece broke. The fake corn popped off. We're going to put out the worm. We'll just put the worm on the hook. I think it's probably, at this point, I mean, it's probably the worm that's catching these fish. It's got to be. Because initially there, when we first cast out, we were having some lines getting messed with. Like that could have been, and we caught that one bluegill, obviously. So when them lines were jumping first thing, like that could have been bluegill. It could have been the turtles, possibly. But now we're not having lines out very long at all before the next fish bites. So the worms should still all be on the hooks when they're biting. Stick that through that worm one more time. There we go. I know some people's really into like hooking worms certain ways, threading them on the hook. Not me, man. I just want to stick them on there. Get them on there and get them out. All right, I think we're back in the game, and our line over here is slack. Let's get this one set. I just want to make sure there ain't a fish on this. That's slack. Nope. It just, maybe it was us moving in the kayak and knocked slack in that one. Okay. Quickly, y'all, quickly. Watch this dang video before the next one comes. Get my phone back up. Oh, crap. It's playing.
Well, it looks like multiple vehicles.
Okay, here we go.
Or you went up and down multiple times here because my yard is all sunk in and divoted all the way up through here. I don't know how well it's going to show up on this camera, but by God, I'm going to take a measuring tape and show you some of these divots as we walk up through here, man. Sunk down 2 inches right here. Here's another big rut that they've done. That one there is almost 4 inches deep that they dug up in my yard that I mow across right here. All the way over here. That's why I think it's multiple vehicles, because hell, there's more over here. Look at this, how far this sinks down. That's another one there, damn near 3 inches deep in my yard. I just had dirt brought in this past fall to smooth all of this up, kind of level out this area behind my shed, and I'll be damned if you didn't drive right across it. Look at this. Sunk down 4 inches right here. I just had this dirt brought in last fall to smooth all this out, to try to get some grass growing on it, all the way up through here, because you drove up my damn driveway to access my neighbor's trees over here. When you got a driveway right there, you could have drove up. There was no damn reason for you to be on my property, especially with that heavy equipment driving through grass. And look, I get it. You're the God Almighty LCUB. You have access and right of way to your power lines. I get it, but it don't give you the right to come on somebody's property and tear it up, especially when you got access to where you need to go through a different driveway. So, I don't know who you are, but I expect you or somebody at LCUB to come out here and fix this. Smooth this out and sow some damn grass, because I'm not driving my mower bouncing up and down over these giant-ass divots from your tire marks from heavy equipment that should have never been out here.
What do y'all think about that? I know it's a little angry because I'm filming that heat of the moment. We're not attracting flies with honey in that situation. And I don't know if you can see on the phone with the camera, glare, all that. You may not be able to see them divots, but I mean, some of them are 4 inches deep where they've sunk down. So it had to be like, it's probably the big, I mean, to get that high up in the trees, they had to have some kind of like bucket truck or something. So, I mean, it's huge divots in my yard. And yes, I could go out there and fix it my damn self, but should I have to? I shouldn't have to do that, because they shouldn't have been on my property to begin with. So I'm pissed about it. So that either that video, or maybe I make another video now that I'm a little bit more calm today, but that video is going to somebody at LCUB on Monday. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back out there to their $1 million complex to get that guy's phone number again, to send him that video. But by God, I think they ought to have to do something about it. And y'all may think I'm crazy, y'all may think I'm wrong in it, but they do have the right of way to access their power lines. But they didn't have no need to access the power lines on my property. And they had another way to get to the lines that they did access on my neighbors. So I feel like they ought to be responsible for any damage that they've caused. And they've clearly, I mean, and this is what's the kick in the balls with it, is like I just had all that dirt brought in last fall to smooth up some, especially there behind my shed, because I had some tree stumps there that had rotted out and the ground was sinking down, and I'm bouncing up and down it over the mower, so I smoothed all that out there. Manual labor on my part, packing that dirt down, smoothing it out, and now I can drive the mower. It didn't have grass there behind the shed yet, but I can drive the mower over very easily. Everything was smooth, and now 4 inches deep right there where they drove across. So, you know, I just feel like, I feel like they need to take care of this. And I don't care how much I have to show my ass. Again, your ass could have pimples, hair, cellulite. You show it, people gonna look, and I am willing to show it. I am not above going out there and causing a scene. So something's gonna be done, by gosh. Unless I just get a wild hair at my butt this afternoon or tomorrow and don't want to fool it and be like, you know what, I'll just fix it my damn self, but I shouldn't have. It's a principle of the matter. It's the principle. Even though I could do it myself in 20, 30 minutes with a hoe and a mattock, I shouldn't have to do it. So, fortunately, here's the good thing for you, the viewer. While I would like to get your feedback on it, the fact is, because I'm ahead on videos right now, this situation is going to be resolved before you see this video. So hopefully the next video I film, which will I'm not fishing tomorrow because the weather's supposed to be bad. Here we go. Here we go again. We're hooked up again. What's going on with my other line here? My other line's went slack. Have we got another fish? Oh, you lost another one. You lost another one, folks. He swam across my other line. Let's see if we can not catch this other line. You lost another one. How'd you do that? We got our worm back at least. Let's see what's going on with this line. This line really got knocked slack in it. Let's just reel this one in and reset. Something had went on with this line. We still got our worm on it too. Let's just throw out some more pack bait on there. But yeah, y'all are fortunate. Because even though I would like to get your feedback, by the time you give me your feedback on this video, I've already resolved the issue because I'm about 3 weeks ahead on videos right now. So I'm filming this beginning of June. You're probably seeing it toward end of June when this video comes out. So the good news is, from the viewer perspective, by the time I film the next video, which will hopefully be Monday, because I think the weather's going to knock me out tomorrow, you should have at least some, well, you know what, you may not be the next video, because if I film on Monday, it'll be Monday morning, and I'll have to go to the utility board Monday afternoon to get that tree trimmer supervisor's phone number. So possibly 2 videos from now, you will get the resolution, an update of some sort. So I guess that's a good thing that you don't have to wait around a long time to find out. But it'd be nice to, you know, most of my friends are a little bit more conservative. Justin, you should be a little nicer, a little bit more tactful. You're a little more likely to get something done. And in reality, I probably should. But I was pissed. I'm still pissed today, but I mean, last night when I saw that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'd be curious to get y'all's thoughts on it anyway, even though you can't really influence what I ultimately end up doing just because of the timing of the video release and all. I'm still curious your all's thoughts. I have to believe that a lot of you would probably be pissed off too. You know, my yard, you know, it's not immaculate. It's not the best yard. I got more weeds than I do grass, but it's mine, damn it. And I mow it and I take care of it. And I'm quite proud of what I've accomplished. And when people like the utility board bring their tree trimming stuff on there and just do whatever the hell they want with total disregard, don't give a damn. You know, it's just the inconsiderate. Not even a note on the door, hey, we're sorry. Hey, call this number. You know, we got another crew that can come out and fix it. Nothing. Just totally don't give a crap, man. That pisses me off more than anything. You leave a note on my door, even if you don't fix it, if you just say, hey, we drove up here through your yard to make our lives easier for some reason. We've tore up your yard. We're really sorry. You know, an apology goes a long way in life. But to not say a damn thing, and you can't tell me, look, they drive these heavy machinery all the time. Like these people, that's their entire job there at the utility board is just trimming trees throughout the county and stuff. Like, I'm not the first yard they've tore up, okay? I can't be. Like, you drive that heavy machinery on grass, like, I mean, listen, some of the people in the highfalutin areas and the big money in the city I live in, I promise you, if man, the guy up the road from me that's helped me with Daphne some, he was telling me about our neighbor up the street went off on him because he was walking one of his dogs one day, and his dog pooped on the side of the road there in the grass. Like, there's the road, and you've got some grass and a little ditch, and then it starts this person's yard. The dog had pooped on the grass between the road and the ditch, and that person went off on them for that. And so you know how people are with their yards and their property and stuff, and rightly so if you're damaging property. I think the poop thing was overblown. I mean, it's poop on the side of the road. It's whatever. But you know what I mean. Like, I have to believe the utility board has some complaints and deals with this kind of thing all the time. So they know if they drive their machinery through somebody's yard, they're going to cause some divots and ruts and mess things up. And they chose to do it anyway, instead of just coming up my neighbor's driveway like they should have, because that's where the trees were that they were trimming. They literally did not trim one tree on my property. Because, again, like I mentioned there before, probably a half hour ago before the video started playing, the left side of that front driveway, my property, I trimmed it up myself last fall. Right side is hers. All the trees they trimmed yesterday, right side. So 100% on her property. But yet they use my driveway to access it. So I'm pissed about it. Whether I should be or I'm not, I am. I'm pissed. And they didn't cut. Here's the thing, too. When I called them 9 months ago for the neighbor girl's tree that was laying across the line down there by her carport, I told that guy then, like, she said she wanted the whole tree cut down, but again, check with her, because I didn't want like a he said, she said type thing, and you know how people are. Well, that tree's still standing, so obviously he never talked to her. So give it some time, there'll be another branch in that tree, or on that line. And I don't know if you can see in that video or not. Let me try to pull it back up. I want to show you this, girls. I want to show you what, let me see if I can pull up this video and just pause it here. And you can see what this girl, I swear she's a hoarder. Okay, let me see. Can I zoom? Oh, I can zoom, okay. So, okay, for reference, this right here is the power pole and the transformer. This tree here had the branch laying across the line, like weight on the line, sagging it down last year. That's what I had called about, okay? And the girl, like I said, she was worried, wind blows, storms, that tree was going to break off and hit her house or the carport, because you can see how close it is there to her house. But look at her carport. I know it's blurry here where I've paused this video, but that is all trash. Like trash bags and stuff thrown out. Like I don't even think she has a car right now, which is odd. But like all of this is just trash. Now she claims she had rented the place out to somebody and they trashed it. But she told me that story back last fall when I was down here again on this side of the driveway. See all this right here? Like that's where I trimmed. I cut down all that brush and all them trees right here. These trees over here is what they were trimming. And ironically, and I don't think you can see it on here, this tree, this one right here, you can't see the top of it from this video angle. It's dead. Like part of the top of it's fallen out. This tree, if something's going to take out that power line, this tree is going to do it. We're going to have a storm. The top of this tree is going to fall or get blown over because, I mean, it's just dead and rotted, even though you can't see on video. That's going to take out the power line. Did they even touch this tree? Hell no. They didn't do a damn thing with it. Like, if you're going to mess with a tree out there, aside from the one that the neighbor girls was touching, that's the one to take down. They didn't even touch it. But they didn't have to do anything on my side of the property because I had already cleared it back away from those lines that run up kind of at an angle this direction, crossing that driveway there. But yeah, this girl, man, I'm convinced she's a hoarder because she had told me last fall that the person that she had living there had trashed the place, but she's been living there ever since, and nothing's been done about that. Like, how do you live and all that? And like, you can't see on this side of her house, but there's even more stuff, like old furniture and stuff thrown out up in here. I can only imagine what the inside looks like. And it's weird because I've talked to her numerous times. Like, she's a really nice girl. Like, I mean, it's not like she's unkept or anything. Like, I mean, every time I've seen her, she's well-dressed, showered, she's real nice, well-mannered. Like, she seems like a normal human being, but she lives in squalor down there. I don't understand. I try not to look at it. I can see it out my front window, but I try not to look because it's just, that place is always trashed. So she had talked about last fall there that she was considering selling the place, and I had mixed feelings on it. Obviously, if she sells the place, it has to be cleaned up, which is good for me. But then I would have a new neighbor, and it's the devil you know versus what you don't. I don't have any problems with this girl. She's really my best neighbor as far as she's quiet. She don't bother anything. She don't pester me. You know, I wave at her when I see her. She has a cat that I really like. Daphne chases it, but when Daphne's at my parents' or something, I get to pet that cat occasionally. I really like her cat. And so her and I have a good relationship. Her driveway there, she doesn't have a lawnmower or anything because it's just woods around her house. She has no actual yard. So in the fall there, I'll take my mower and go up and down the driveway, her driveway, just to blow the leaves, because it's on a hill and it can get slick down there by the road. So I blow them leaves for her. I mean, her and I have a good relationship. Of the neighbors I have, like she's one of, if not the best. And y'all, especially my channel members, them people on the other side of me, I hate with a passion, man. They're the worst neighbors ever. Like, I despise those people. So y'all know, my regular viewers and my channel members especially know I hate my other neighbors. But this girl, I mean, I'm cool with, but I think she's a hoarder because nothing gets thrown away. It's all piled up out there into that carport. And like, she used to have a nice vehicle. She had a Jeep when she first got the place, because she's lived there, gosh, probably 10 years or more now, I guess. It's been a long time that she's lived there. And when she first bought the place, I mean, she had a nice car. The place was kept up good, but boy, the last few years, like, it is really declined. And I don't know. I don't want to. I want to know, but I don't want to be nosy and be like, "What do you do? Like, what do you do for a living?" Because she's home all the time, but she doesn't have any car. And it's not like she's disabled or anything. I mean, she's younger than me, and she's just looking at her. I mean, she's athletic. Just looking at her. I mean, I've seen her outside doing stuff. Like, she's physically able. I don't know what she does. But whatever goes in that house, it never leaves. It might go outside to the carport, but it never leaves. I can only imagine what I bet you them tree trimming guys yesterday, because they had to be right there by that carport to be trimming that tree that was laying across the line. I'd like to have been a fly on, I mean, I say I'd like to be a fly on the wall to hear what they were saying, but there's probably a bunch of flies on the wall down there in that carport with all that trash. But I'd love to have heard their opinion on that, just what they were looking at. They can all kiss my ass for what they've done to my yard, but I would have liked to have heard their reactions when they saw all that trash heap there under her carport. Yeah, that's something else, man. So I don't know what she's going to do with that place. I'm very torn on it because I've already got one bad neighbor. All I need is another one. And so I do have a good relationship with her, other than just her property looking like a dump. Somebody else moves in, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be better. It could be far worse. So probably better to stick with the devil you know. And I do like her cat. She has multiple cats actually, but one of them actually lets me pet it. When I was down there last fall working and clearing out the brush and all that away from them lines and expanding my fence and all, that cat would just come up, wasn't scared of the chainsaw or nothing. Like it'd just rub on my leg, I'd stop a little while and pet it. None of her other cats will let me pet them, but that one cat, very friendly. Daphne chases it. It would come up to my house more often, but Daphne chases it. Tries to anyway. It ain't scared of Daphne at all. Like Daphne will go charging up to it, barking, and that cat will just hold its ground and try to paw at Daphne's face. I wish that cat would whoop the far out of Daphne one time. That would teach her. That would curb that behavior right quick, fast, and in a hurry. Well, sometimes if Daphne's at my parents or something, that cat will come on up and I'll get to pet it. I think we got something going on here, left line. Look at this line, it's completely slack and like come back at us here. If I feel any weight, I'm gonna jerk this fish's jaw if he's got it. I don't know why else that line would be that slack unless something did have it. I don't feel anything. I feel like I'm in something maybe. I don't know if this is a fish or if I've picked up something on my line, but we're going with it. It's a fish or a turtle. Something's on there. Something's on there that ain't fine. I hope this ain't another turtle. If it's the same turtle, they just ain't no hope for him. It is a turtle. Let's see what we got. Is that another slider? It's a different one at least. We got a second turtle of the day here. We got Donatello the first time. This one must be Leonardo, the Ninja Turtles. I had a bunch of those as a kid. I really liked the Ninja Turtles. Didn't care for the movie, but really loved the toys and the action figures. Come on in, turtle. Let's see what we can do with you here. Let's see what you've done. You need to wash your shell too. It's got mud all over it. Your mama's embarrassed. She raised you better than that, turtle. Come here, let's see what we got. Come here. Let's see what we can do with you, turtle. Where's it at? I think you've ate it. I think you've ate it a little deeper down, turtle. Gosh, I think he's got that. I can't see the... It's in the side of the mouth, but I can't. Don't bite me either. You're a slider, but still, I don't want to be bit today. I can't get to the hook. Boy, I hate this. I'm going to have to end up cutting this one, I think. Oh, he's bit my pliers now. I'm trying to help you, turtle. If I could get to the hook, I might could, but I can't do it. It's in there. It's in the side, I think, but I think it's too deep. He ain't going to open up to let me even get a look at it in there. I see the worm. There's the worm. Okay, there's the... Let me try to help you, turtle. He's biting down on the dang pliers. I hate that. Let's see if we can grab that worm and get it out of the way where we can see something. Don't bite. Okay. Goodness gracious, turtle. Oh, goodness, we got a fish on. Hang on, turtle. I'm trying to do surgery right here. We got a fish that don't give a crap, buddy. He seized an opportunity. I hate this for this turtle. I really don't like hurting turtles. They have a soft place in my heart. And that is the bad thing about, I don't care if you're catfishing or carp fishing in shallow water. In these backwater creeks, you get turtled. This here in my hand is definitely not a turtle. We're gonna get him up here, get a look at him, and then we'll see what we can do with Ninja Turtle here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out. I wanna get it out, but I don't wanna have to do it in such a way that I could permanently injure him. He'll live with that hook uncomfortably until it rusts out, but I have potential, if I don't do it correctly, to cause more damage than leaving it in. I think this might be another buffalo right here. This one here for sure ain't a turtle, at least. It is, it's another buffalo. Boy, the buffalo bite today, man. This has just been an incredible day buffalo fishing. I come out here not, what we get, one carp so far though? I guess the buffalo have run the carp out of here or something. Let's set him there. Come here, turtle. Here, I'm gonna set y'all up here. I'm trying to look down this turtle's gullet. Meanwhile, I got the camera right here in my chest blocking part of my view. Y'all set up here. And I'm gonna be bent over a second. Y'all just admire my hat. Kayak catfish hat available at catfishsumo.com. Let me plug a hat here while I do surgery. Boy, he's trying to bite me. Don't bite me, turtle. I want to help you. Open up. Yeah, y'all, I don't, he's biting the pliers again. I'm gonna snip it. I think the back of that hook goes down. I'm just worried I'm gonna tear something important. I'm gonna cut it. I hate doing that. I really hate doing that. Yeah, it's just, I'm really afraid I'm going to cause more damage. He's not bleeding or anything, so I'm pretty sure he can uncomfortably eat around it. And it's a small hook, it will eventually rust out. But if I was to try to rip that thing out, or especially to go push it further back to dislodge it, we're going to end up hurting him more. You forgive me, turtle? He said he'll never forgive me. He won't even pop his head out to even look at you. Look at his shell though, buddy. He needs a bath in a bad way. You keep hissing at me. I hate that turtle. All right, y'all say goodbye to the turtle here. We'll land our buffalo. There he goes. I hate that, I do. Unfortunately though, man, if you're gonna fish, that kind of thing's gonna happen. The shallow water, you're gonna get turtled. Put our power poles back down. Whether you catfishing or fishing with worms or corn or whatever, them turtles, man, they seize an opportunity to get a free meal. Just like this buffalo did with the worm. Come here. There we go. All right, buffalo, it's your turn. It's your time to shine, buddy. This thing here. Oh, okay, this was that middle rod, wasn't it? That had the fake corn. It had already been knocked off. Pretty sure. Yeah, because the turtle was on the left. So that one had already been knocked off. Okay, another buffalo. Man, that's awesome. This is another, it's been about the size on average, I guess. What would you say? Somewhere between 5 and 8 pounds, probably, maybe. I don't know, tough to guess. Over 5 for sure. But I mean, it's, I splashed myself in the face on that. But I mean, that's a solid fish, man. And this tackle here I'm using while reeling in a bluegill first thing is no fun at all. Reeling in these buffalo, like you get a 5+ pound fish on there. And especially, man, we hook that buffalo, the biggest one I got there a couple years back in this creek, like it was big. And so, I mean, there's potential in here for 20, 30, 40 pound fish, whether it be buffalo or carp. So you just never know. And these fights in the shallow water, when these carp hit and they bolt, and it's a dang good time. It's a dang good time. Other than hurting turtles, this is a dang good time, buddy. So let's rebait this one. I'm gonna tie a new rig on the other one since the turtle got him a free hook, a free souvenir. I still gotta tell you the story about Daphne got in trouble the other night. I gotta tell you that story too. She's done it again. That dog, I tell you, every time I have started to trust this dog to think we've turned the corner, like things are gonna be better, she finds a way to break my trust. That's Daphne, folks. I guess I thought we're getting past this, but I guess it's just gonna be one of them things. Periodically, she's just gonna have some behavioral issues. Let's cast this out and we'll tie on our other rig. I got a bunch of them already made. Oh, we got one. I think maybe he just dropped it. No, he's still on there. Should we? Let's cast this one out and let's pick up on our other one. Because we ain't got a line in the water right now that ain't got a fish on it. We'll set that there, then we'll go ahead and jerk this one's jaw. Oh goodness, I cast that out, and of course that's the direction he wants to run. Of course it is. He could have run any direction. He went right toward that line. So far so good. Oh, he just went in it again. I can't tell if he's under it or over it. I should have waited. Why'd y'all let me cast that line out? I should have waited until we got this fish under control. Y'all exercised poor judgment just then. I think we're okay though. Okay, yeah, we're okay. He went under the line. Is it another one? My gosh, it is, y'all, another buffalo. What a day of buffalo fishing, man. Who would have thunk it? I mean, I legit hope to get one, maybe two on a good day. We just keep catching them. This is my best day of buffalo fishing of all time. The fact it's happening on an unedited video makes it so much better. It may not be better for you, but by gosh, it's better for me. That just, so much more rewarding. Oh. Come in here. Oh, I should have moved that pack bait bag too and the worms. Don't you dare knock that stuff over, fish. I mean it now. I mean it. He don't care. He's got some sores on him too. It's another one that's been with some dirty women. Gotta be careful, fish. You gotta wrap that thing up, buddy. Where's that hook at now? Oh, easy peasy. Come here. Let's get that hook. Okay, got the hook. Yeah, you're one of those. I mean, he's still probably every bit of 5 to 7 pounds, but smaller. One of the smaller ones of the day. Look at them sores on him though. Get out of here with your nasty sores. You need some salve on it. Nasty old fish. They probably ain't got no Walgreens down there in Buffalo world. Boy, we got slime all over that net. I'll have my car stunk up. I'll put that net in my car when I'm done today. And it'll be that slime, it'll get all over everything, and it'll bake in the hot sun this afternoon, and I'll go in to get in my car this evening or tomorrow, and my car will be rotted fish smell. Well, let's cast this one back out. We're actually running a little low on pack bait here. We caught more fish than I mix up my pack bait for, to hopefully, if I have a good trip, have enough for 4 or 5 hours, because that's what I'm going to fish. But we've used quite a bit today. Probably don't need to put that much on at this point, because we've got so many fish in the area, and we've got them they know there's food over there, obviously, at this point. So we can be a little conservative with what we got left and not have any issues of running out. Though we've definitely gone through some. Okay, let's throw this one back out. And we'll tie on another rig on the other one. What a day, man. I don't know if some of y'all get all juiced up over buffalo or not. Even the carp fishermen, like there's a handful of carp fishermen that watch me. I don't know if buffalo are, I don't know if they're a desired species amongst carp fishermen or not. Kind of like, for instance, let's say you are a crappie fisherman. Most crappie fishermen aren't excited when they get a bluegill. Like a bluegill is kind of a nuisance thing for them, right? I wonder if it's that way for people who are going out carp fishing, like if they're upset when they get a buffalo instead. Not me. Buffalo don't have the same fight. Like they don't fight as hard as carp, but I'm happy anytime I get one on just because I've caught so few. Comparatively speaking to the carp, I got a piece of corn on that feeder there. I'll keep that feeder and put me on another pre-tied hair rig on that. So this is what I do, y'all. When I tie up these rigs, these feeders from Amazon, they just got that hole in there you slide your line through. I take an extra step when I'm tying them at home to save me time when I'm out here on the water. So if you don't use a swivel up here on top, then this will just slide up and down your line. So you cast it out, your feeder may end up being a long ways away from your hook. Putting this up here keeps everything down toward the bottom of your line, and it makes it easier on me having done all this at home prior to coming out of the water. I don't have to spend a lot of time. So I do a little bit bigger swivel here up top, 50-pound braid through that. Here I got a little bit smaller swivel, and then I'll take a pre-tied hair rig, put that on, and I already have like the fake corn and all that on my rig, which I'll show you down here in my hatch. Look, I'll stick this here. And so here I have some rigs already good to go. I've got a baggie with some more baggies inside here. Let's get us another yellow one, since that's what that one broke off. So now it's time to retie. We lost that hook and the turtle. I can pull out a rig. It's already ready to go. I don't have to sit here and build this rig while I'm out here on the water, including, and the time-consuming part, honestly, for these rigs I get the pre-tied hair rigs. These are ESP brand that you just loop around, but you have to put on your bait onto the hair rig. And for me, you got a hair rig tool, it's like a needle, poke the hole through there. It's got a little bevel on the end. You grab your line, thread that on. Then you got to put that little piece of plastic, the hair stop, on there. Between my eyes and my fingers and that small line, getting that on is always a challenge. And doing that on the water when your hands are wet and other rods are going down, like, it's just, I don't want to fool with it. I would rather tie up a bunch of them at home ahead of time and just be ready to go when I need one. And so usually winter months, when the weather's nasty, I sit down and just sit down at my kitchen table. I'll tie up rigs, whether it's carp rigs, catfish rigs. I try to just tie up a bunch of stuff in the winter months, and that way, when I run low on rigs in the kayak, I can just go to that spare bedroom closet where I store that stuff, grab another pack, and I'm good to go. So anyway, that's how I do. Y'all can do stuff however you want to. I ain't telling you what to do or how to live your lives, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I do. And you put them in these baggies, and you know, I've got several rigs here in these bags, and they fit down here in my hatch. And so here's like some of my suspend fishing rigs for catfish, right? Again, packs very easily, stores good, doesn't take up a lot of space, and they're always readily available. Don't have to waste time on the water anyway. It takes more time off the water, obviously, but it saves me time on the water, which helps me be more efficient. And then too, just for especially these type of videos where we're unedited, y'all don't want to see me retying all day. So anyway, it's a little tip right there for you, for the 3 of you still watching, and maybe give a crap. See how many worms we got back in here. Our worm thing got doused with water landing one of these fish. Like, we're drowning these here worms. I don't know how many more we got left in there. There's one more for sure. We've went through some worms today. There's another possibly. Is that the same? We've got 1 or 2 more. After we bait this hook, we've got 1 or possibly 2 more worms left. If that other one in there, if it's the last worm, you know what? Let's do this. Let's cut, since we're running low on worms. I should have got more worms. I didn't. Here I did. I thought I'll take some of them worms home and throw them in the garden. We've gone through that whole tub. I'll just cut this worm though in half. That'll get us another rig. That other worm that's in there too, when it comes time to use it, we'll cut it in half as well. That'll get us a couple more fish possibly. In the event that it is the worms that's causing these buffalo to bite. Don't know. I guess we may end up finding out if we run out of worms. And right now, we're certainly on pace to do it. These 18, have we really used 18 worms, or did we get shorted today? Surely we ain't used 18 worms. They might have cheated us here. Surely we ain't used 18 worms. I think we got cheated. Before I walked out of the store there, I didn't sit there and count all them worms to make sure we had exactly 18 in there. So they could have gypped us possibly. Yeah, all right, well, I think we got all 3 rods cast back out again. Maybe we can sit here a minute. What an action-packed morning thus far. And it's cloudy too, so it ain't got real hot yet. What a good day. What a good day. Oh crap, look at our line. Look at our line right here. This line has swam to the shoreline. Oh, there's a piece of wood over there too. Like should we set the hook? He's over this dang limb or log or. We're reeling in a fish in a log. I don't even feel the fish yet, actually, as a matter of fact, but I do. The dang log. I don't know what's going on here. I looked up and this line is over here beside us. I don't know that we even have a fish. Did this log drift into our line or something? I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea what's happening, folks. We're reeling in the biggest thing of the day. And it's a stick. Add this to the list of species caught today. Tree fish. Weighs about $3.50. I don't know what's happened here. Maybe this thing drifted into our line or something. I don't feel any fish on. But by gosh, that line, I mean, it had come all the way over. Crap, I just shifted my weight in the kayak here. I think we yanked our other pole up. I'm gonna shove this log behind us best I can. I made it worse. There we go. That's gonna get in our way at some point, y'all. Hold on. These damn poles. Get this side. I shifted my weight and I felt the damn thing give. Here, let's take this net and try to push this log out the way. Well, I've apparently caught it again with my line. What the hell is happening here? Oh goodness, wrong time, fish. Oh goodness. Boy, every time we're trying to do something today, whether it's showing y'all a video of my tore up yard or unhook a stick that we somehow caught, these fish are seizing an opportunity. This one may be a carp right here. This one's acting more like a carp. We just ain't seen many carp today. What we got? One carp? All these fish we've got, only one of them has been a carp to this point. And you know, when I catch buffalo, they're in the same places as carp, but I don't know, are like one of them dominant over the, I mean, I would assume as many buffalo as we've caught today, if there is one species that kind of pushes the other out, it seems like the buffalo have maybe pushed the carp out of this area. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't know how well they get along. I'm really pretty ignorant overall, especially on buffalo. Yeah, this is a carp here. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and land him, because otherwise he's going to be all up in this stick we got here beside us that I can't seem to get rid of. There we go. All right, carp, let's see what we can do with you. Good to see you today. You're what we come out here to catch. The buffalo was just going to be a bonus, and that's all we've ended up catching. Okay, let's see what we got. Now this, boy, he splashed me good right in the kisser, folks. So that carp there did eat the worm, because that's on that middle rod that don't have the, it don't have any fake corn on it. This is another carp here that's just real skinny. Let's get him out quick. We got a problem here with this damn stick. I can't figure out what the heck has happened. to catch this dang, we caught it somehow, got it undone, and then caught it again. So I guess mark us down for 2 stickfish, even though it's the same one, since I caught it twice. Boy, what for real, what's happened here? Well, look how my line's all twisted up around that. Oh crap, I broke part of that stick. I don't understand how this happened. How? We had to have a fish on. I mean, that line had swam to the right. I bet you the fish swam over here. Somehow we didn't notice, because I can't get y'all to pay any attention. And somehow or another, he got in that tree and probably broke off, pulled free around the tree, and just left us with a tangled mess in the tree. Goodness gracious. Okay, we got that undone. Let's try to shove this branch. Well, I thought I was free of it. I got it. There we go. Let's try to shove this out of the way behind us there. So hopefully we don't deal with it again. I don't know what went on, but there was some shenanigans happening with that. Big time shenanigans. Y'all gonna have to pay better attention. Here's what else I want to do before we cast these lines back out, because these damn power poles keep giving me problems. Well, I'm gonna raise them both. Okay, so they're coming up, and we're gonna just, you double tap to raise them up, double tap to lower them. I'm gonna lower them both again, and hopefully they're gonna set in different holes this time. I think we'd worked them back and forth so loose, I just couldn't stay in the soft mud. I couldn't stay set. Okay, hopefully that's good. Hopefully that'll hold us a little better here. Well, we're running out of worms. If y'all could go back in time, go back to the future, Marty, bring us some more worms, that would be wonderful. We know the worms for sure at least ain't hurting the rigs, if nothing else. What a good day, though. I lost track a long time ago how many fish we've got. Hard for me to stay focused when I'm telling my stories and all, especially with as many fish as we've had. Let's get one of that. Get that other piece of that worm. Well, ain't a very big worm, is it? You think that'll be enough? We'll try it. We'll throw it on there. Hopefully it'll be enough. They're over there. I mean, if we get them that number of carp and buffalo rooting around over here in this area in front of us, like, they'll find it. Especially with all that pack bait when it hits. Oh, did you see that? We spooked one right there when that hit. He was over there in that area. We spooked him. There's fish over there, man. We've got them feeding in that area. They know there's food there. You know what I kind of want to do with this one? Because we're down to the nitty-gritty on worms, and we got this one hook here that don't have any bait there on the hair rig. Let's just throw this one out with just the corn only. We're running out of worms regardless today. Let's just use the worms then on that middle rod for the rest of the morning. Because no matter what rod we put the worms on, we're going to bait maybe 2 more times. because I'm pretty sure there's just one more worm in there. We cut it in half, we'll get 2. Them Canadian night crawlers, apparently they don't grow them worms very long up there in Canada. Probably just due to the cold. Cold shrinks everything, you guys know. I'll tell the girlfriend, it'd be 90 degrees outside. It's cold in here, honey. Let's see what we got here at these worms. Hell, do we have any more worms? Okay, there's one. We got one left, y'all. We're down to the final worm. I find it difficult to believe that we've went through 17 worms. Y'all, somebody rewind this video and tell me how many worms we've used. Well, I feel like we've been gypped today. We got our money's worth out of the worms that were in that tub, but I feel like we might have got gypped. This stick is still sitting over here too. I didn't shove it off very far, did I? Dadgummit. That's going to be a problem at some point this morning when we're trying to land some fish. Well, you know what, maybe. Now that we got the power poles reset, let me take the net and just start to push it. Oh, I don't know that helped. Y'all, next time we're reeling in a fish, y'all just try to work it around that rod right there. I mean, that stick. I gotta get me another drink. Well, I've told you in so many stories, I caught so many fish, I'm parched. Got the cotton mouth going. I try not to drink too much when I'm doing these trips like this, because I don't want to have to pause the video. These raw and uncut, unedited videos, I want them to be raw and uncut and unedited. But if I drink a lot, then I'm gonna have to pee. And undoubtedly, there's some pervert out there watching this that would be all about that, but I don't want that being on video, obviously. So if I don't drink very much, then I don't have to pause the video. That's my biggest thing when it comes to, because I've talked about the notion of maybe doing a unedited tournament video, which will be 8 hours. Obviously, nobody's going to watch that straight through, but I mean, people could break it up over 3 or 4 days. One problem with that is, can I talk for 8 hours? I don't know that I could. But the other big thing is 8-hour turn, I'm gonna have to pee at some point. Like, what do you do with that? And I'm gonna need a snack at some point. So I'm gonna be sitting here crunching on this microphone. And there's been times in the past, like videos I've put out years ago, where I would be eating something and a fish hit, and I'd still have a mouthful of whether it was a moon pie or some sunflower seeds or whatever. And people just get tore up about it, man. They're just, of course, people gonna complain about anything, but they'd just be all upset and everything because I'd be talking with my mouth full or chewing on camera, and I'm like, I guess I got enough of a complex about it, they finally broke me. So now I try not to eat anything on camera now. I used to love sunflower seeds. That was like my kayak fishing snack, but people broke me. The people in the comment box, they finally broke me. But these little 4 or 5 hour trips that I do, I ain't gonna starve to death out here by not having some snacks. But on tournament day, if I'm on the water 8 hours, really on the water longer than that, because you leave out a little bit early before tournament time to get where you're going. Hard to make it a full day without at least some kind of snack. I mean, I'm a growing young boy. So, Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. A video that long, would it get watched at all? If it did, what would I do about having to pee? What would I do about having to eat? So those right now are probably going to be edited video trips. But these here, a normal trip for me where I'm just going out and having some fun, like that's a 4 or 5 hour trip on most days. That's perfect for this. Even if I fish, even if I'm on a good bite and I fish a little longer, my battery on this camera is going to die around the 4 hour mark. But that's okay. I mean, then I've still got 4 hours worth, and I'll fish an extra hour or something. Probably won't today. I'm gonna get out of here, regardless how the bite is today, because I'm gonna get home and try to get something done before the weather turns back. I think it's supposed to rain this evening, and then tomorrow's supposed to be storms and whatnot. So I don't think I'm gonna get to fish tomorrow. If I could, I'd be right back down here catching some more buffalo, assuming they're still here tomorrow. But I don't think I'm going to. And then Monday, I'm probably gonna try to get some bait and then go catfishing. Or if I can get out between the storms tomorrow, I'll probably get some bait and then go catfishing on Monday. So hopefully the next video you see after this will probably be a catfish trip. There won't be any resolution yet to the utility board situation, because assuming I'm able to catfish on Monday, I would go to the utility board afterwards. So the second video after that, don't know what kind of fishing I'll be doing, but hopefully I'll at least have an update on this war I'm about to wage on the utility board. It's tough to go to war with them because they hold all the power, literally, right? I mean, it's the power to your house, and inevitably you're going to need them at some point to come turn the power back on when it gets knocked out. So do you really want to piss those people off? But at the same time too, you can't live your life in fear. When somebody wrongs you, you need to stand up to them and take a stand, and in some cases take the fight to them, which I'm going to have to do to go down there at their $1 million complex. Business at the utility board's apparently good for the piece of property they bought and the building they built on it. I have to wonder if they're not price gouging us based on what they've built down there in that complex. I know they're price gouging us based on what my utility bill is now from what it used to be. And my house is small. Like, I have a small house, so my utility bill is probably way lower than most people's anyway, just due to the fact that, you know, my house is small. But boy, it's went up. Like, summer months back when I got the house, in the first few years, it wasn't uncommon for me to have $60, $70 electric bills. Oh, I was about to put my glasses on. Oh, did he just drop it? Did y'all miss? Oh no, he's on there. He's on there. Watch this. Got him. Oh, I pulled it out. I went to jerk his jaw and jerked it loose. I hope he didn't get our worm. He had that little piece of worm, and he got the little piece of worm. Well, doo-doo flakes, man. We needed that worm back. We got one worm left. Let's cut him in half. We'll cut him in half. We'll put half on now and half on the next one. But yeah, my electric bill used to be $60, $70 a month in the summer months. Now it's over $100 a month, about every summer. In the winter, it'll be, I had like a $200 bill last winter. And that's, which I know a lot of you with big houses and different areas you live in with higher utility rates will be like, oh gosh, Justin, that's Well, I would kill to have a $100 electric bill. I get it. But I'm just saying, from what we used to pay to what we pay now, there's been a big increase. Nothing's changed at my house. In fact, my house has gotten more energy efficient because I just had them new windows put in last year, which is supposed to save you 30% according to the window salesman guy, which I didn't save no 30%. So my house has gotten more energy efficient, yet my bill has gone up. So that's utility board right there, raising prices. Now my bill does include water, which water bill where I live is cheap anyway. The first 1,000 gallons, a unit is considered 1,000 gallons. I usually use 1 unit per month, which I think is $17, I think. Something like that. So my water bill's cheap, and that's part of the electric bill too, but while my overall utilities costs are very minimal, it still just annoys me that the prices went up so much in recent years. And when I go out there and I see they've bought this, because used to the utility board office location was right across from the post office. It was a small building, fairly close to my house. Now I got to drive across town. They spent all that money on buying a big piece of property. They've got this huge complex out there. I'm like, do you really need that much? You made it in that small office building my entire life. Now all of a sudden you need this gazillion-dollar facility, so that's why our bills have all went up, so they can pay for that. I ain't telling them how to do their job, but I'm just saying they're gouging us a little bit, and you can't say nothing about it. What are you gonna do? You gonna go get your electricity from somebody else? Good luck. Every utility board kind of has a monopoly in their town, unless you go like solar or something, but you still gotta have their electricity to your house and all that. So you're dependent, all of these utility boards, whatever city, town you live in, they've all got a monopoly because you don't have options. And so you got to be a little bit careful about pissing them off. So there's a thin line there, I guess, is what I'm getting at, between holding them accountable and causing myself problems by pissing off people that hold the power, literally. So most of you will probably say, just fix the yard myself, which I could do. Probably take me 20, 30 minutes, just a hoe and a mattock, but I shouldn't have to do that. It's a principle thing, man. I'm a man of principle. I don't know how things are going to shake out, but I probably will show my ass, and yeah. And them TVA power lines that cut across my property, TVA never comes out there. Like when they come and check and inspect the lines, they fly a helicopter over. So I don't ever have them out there. I'm required to have 16-foot gates for them to be able to bring their trucks up there and work on the poles if need be. So that's kind of a requirement of having them lines on your property. But beyond that, like, they never bring their machinery up there. Them replacing the poles, it's the first time they've been up there in forever. And now that they've got them new metal poles, like, they'll probably never be back. Oh, left rod. You see that? Something's working it. He's got it. He's got it. Another one. What do you think it is? Carp or buffalo? Call your shot right now. I'm gonna go buffalo or channel cat, my guess. It kind of felt like he was rolling, but these buffalo are a weird fight too. We're due a channel cat, by gosh. I don't know how we've survived it this long. 2 turtles, no channel cats. Oh, he's in that line over there. Okay, I think he's maybe went under it. I don't know what he's, let's steer him back this way if we can. He's got in that middle line, and I'm worried we don't want to lose that worm. We're down to our, oh my gosh, did he get in both lines somehow? Okay, that's a carp. Okay, he's come out of that other line for now. He's going back that way, of course. Let's tighten that thing up and see if we can keep him under it. Yeah, that's a carp. Finally getting some carp in here now. I guess they've moved in. Maybe some of the buffalo are moving out. Maybe they're all moving in together, cohabitating. I don't know. I'm gonna take whatever wants to pull a rod down. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, carp, you're done now. I want you to come in here and act like somebody. You're not gonna be quite big enough to get some front camera time, but I will hold you out for the world to see you. You're welcome ahead of time, carp. Hold your thanks, but you're welcome. I'm pretty sure we had a worm on this one still, but it's gone. So I'm not gonna bait a worm on this one. We're gonna save that other piece until we rebait that middle rod that ain't got no corn on it. Well, what has he done with this hook? It's behind the skin up in there. Oh, oh. Oh, he knocked my dang motor cord off. What have you done here, fish? There we go, we got it. Knocked my motor cord off. What do you do that for? Old fish. Get out of here. You ain't much to look at anyway. The colors ain't very bright on that one. He wasn't very big. That's an old ugly fish. That fish right there will go his whole life. He'll never get a date. It'll never happen for him. Let's do this a second here before we rebait on this. Let's use this fishing pole to grab our motor cord up there. Otherwise, I'll go to leave today and have to crawl up there and get it. I use these pulleys that I made, a little DIY pulley system here to raise and lower my motor. And every once in a while, you'll have an unruly fish kick that cord overboard. We got it back. Crisis averted. Yeah, we'll cast this one out with just the fake corn there. In hindsight, I wish I'd got a couple tubs of them worms, but it's okay. We'll be all right. We might catch some more carp now if we ain't got the worms on there. If we do, if we stop catching the buffalo when we stop using worms, I'm going to just assume that the buffalo are still there. And that was the reason why we were catching them, was the worms. That's what I'm going to assume. But either way, if we start catching carp now, we're due. Hopefully the main thing is just keeping this bite going. Because I mean, it has been an active bite today. Between the fish that we've caught and we lost 3 or 4 fish now. We lost 3 in a row. Like, I mean, it's been very active today. All right, y'all, we're cast back out. We're back in the game, folks. Back in the game. Oh, let me tell you, I've been so focused on the damn utility board, I don't think I ever told you the story about Daphne, what she done. So this dog, man, you know, I've had problems with her running out of my yard. And it ain't that she runs off, it's that she don't come back. And then I have to go get her. And then she acts like she's just a beaten child or something in front of my neighbors. This rod over here is getting the worm rod. My rod tip's jumping around. Has he got it? Let's pick up. I'll jerk his jaw if I feel weight on there. I'm gonna jerk it. Oh, and I jerked it right out. I should have been more patient. I hope he didn't get the worm. Oh, good, he didn't get the worm. Got a refund. Not as good as a tax refund, but it's a refund. Let's just rehook it one more time here. Yeah, that was, I thought he had it. I felt some weight. Maybe he was just on top of the line or something. Give myself some slack here. There we go. But yeah, Daphne, you know, she's had this habit since I got her of running off. She'll run up the road, go visit all the neighbors, and she won't come back. Like, she just won't come back. And then inevitably, one of the Good Samaritan neighbors will call me, and then I go up there and get her, and then I can't get her on the leash because she wants to hunker down and try to run from me, and it looks like she's scared to death of me, like I'm some kind of animal abuse. And listen, I've whooped her a few times. I ain't gonna lie, I have, when she's chewed stuff up and acted out and been bad and stuff. But like, the way she acts, you would think that like she's just this, I mean, she puts on a show. It's an Academy Award-winning performance, folks. And it's damn near embarrassing. And so lately, I was just bragging on her the other day because I'm like, I think I even said it in my last channel members video, like she had been so good. She hadn't run off, like she's been a really good dog lately. She hadn't got any trouble. Well, this is how it's been. Every time I've built a little trust with her, she finds a way to break it. So, girlfriend come over the other night, and my girlfriend had been out of town because she went to Niagara Falls with her mom and her sister. And so she had been gone for several days. And when the girlfriend comes over, Daphne normally sleeps in bed with me, but when you got company, you know, some things ain't for children's eyes. So Daphne sleeps in her doggy bed in the living room on those nights. And with the girlfriend having been out of town, I guess Daphne had gotten used to her routine and was not happy when the girlfriend showed up, because she knew, I guess, that she wasn't going to be sleeping in bed that night. And Daphne, you know, I let Daphne out to go potty, and she seizes an opportunity, gone. You know, I go out because it's been a while. I'm like, where the hell's the dog at? She's gone. So I'm looking around. My neighbors on the left side of my property, both of them are outside. Like, one guy's working in his yard down here, and he's got his dog out there. The other people over here, they've got kids, and so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to see Daphne out there. I'll go get her. I don't see her. I'm like, well, that's odd that she don't show up over there, especially with that other guy's dog. And so I get on the electric bike, and I start riding up the neighborhood, and my other neighbor across the street, I stop. He's outside too, working on his car. I say, hey, did you see my dog by chance? He's like, no, I ain't seen her. And so I drive on up the street there to my other neighbor that's the dog trainer. That's where Daphne always ends up. She loves him. She loves his dogs. And she'll either end up there trapped on his porch because he's got one of them doors that kind of locks behind you there, because he'll put his dogs out there on the porch sometimes. Or she'll be up there and he'll put Daphne inside his gated fence there, where he takes his dogs outside and puts them in this fenced area to play, and he'll stick Daphne in there for me so I can get her. So I go up there thinking, well, that's probably where she's at. Well, lo and behold, he's outside washing his car and he ain't seen her either. So I'm like, where the hell is this damn dog at? I'm like, surely she didn't take a right and go down the other part of the road. Because then you start getting worried, because if she goes out of my road and takes a left, it's just my neighbor's. You go out and you take a right, you don't have to go very far before you get down there on the highway. And I'm like, she's going to get down there and get run over or something. So I take off on the bike, I go down that way. I don't see her. I don't know where the hell she's at. And so I'm hollering for her, clapping for her, no response. So I go back up the house. I told my neighbor up the street there, I'm like, well, he's got my phone number and all. I'm like, well, call me if she shows up. Because it always happens when she runs off. She always ends up at his house. That's how it always goes. So he's like, yeah, I'll call you as soon as I see her. So I go back to the house and waiting. Hour goes by, hour and a half goes by. Me and the girlfriend, we're sitting there talking like, where the hell is she? And it ain't just that she's not come back, because she ain't going to come back on her own. But the fact that nobody's called us, because all the neighbors in my area, they've all got my number at this point, because Daphne's run off so many times. I know all my neighbors. Unfortunately, before Daphne, the only neighbor I'd ever had any interaction with was the girl that lives in front of me, the hoarder. Otherwise, I didn't speak to my neighbors. Life was good. Now I've had to have conversations with every single one of my neighbors, except the guy that lives across the street from me with the really nice yard. I'd actually like to talk to him. I'd like to have a reason to talk to him, because he had his driveway asphalted. Last year or the year before, he had this asphalt company come in and smooth out his driveway. And I would like to talk to him to find out how much it costs and who done it and all that, because I'd like to have that done to my driveway at some point. But I don't just want to walk over there and knock on the door, because, But if Daphne ran over there and I had to go over there to get her, well, that would be an easy segue. Hey, thanks for calling me about Daphne. By the way, really like your driveway. Easy segue. Anyway, she never goes that way. But all the other neighbors I've had to talk to because of Daphne. Me and the girlfriend, we're sitting there and we're like, man, don't see her. Nobody's called. Like, did she get kidnapped? Like, what is going on? And meanwhile, we haven't eaten dinner yet either. I was going to grill some steaks that night. Again, it's girlfriend's first night back in town. I was going to grill some steaks. And I didn't want to start grilling and then get the call and have to go get Daphne. So I took a lap on the bike one more time. Can't find her anywhere. I'm like, holy hell, somebody's kidnapped her. But I can't do nothing about it, and I'm hungry. So I go back and I grill them damn steaks. And we eat. And at this point, she's been gone like 2.5 hours, and it's starting to get dark. And I'm thinking, surely to goodness, this is when she's going to show up, because all my neighbors will be going inside, and she'll end up at the guy up the street there. So here I go on the bike again, right before dark. I ride around the loop around my neighborhood there, thinking maybe she's just really went the wrong way and went off somewhere, because there's some more goats some people own on the other side of the neighborhood. Like, maybe she ends up over there. I don't see her anywhere. I loop back around. I talk to my neighbor. He's still outside. He's like, have you not found her yet? He's like freaking out. He's worried about her at this point, because he ain't seen her, and he's been outside the whole time. I'm like, damn, where is she? And so once upon a time, Daphne had went way up at the very end of my road. There's a really hot girl that lives up there. If she's going to run off, I wish she would run up there every time. But she ran up there one time, this hot girl. She's actually went up there twice. The first time the girl called me and I went up there. The second time, the girl loaded Daphne up in the car and brought her back to me. But she's hot, like she's a 10. And I'm like, I'm going to ride up there to her house and just see if I see Daphne up there possibly. But I'm like, surely she won't be up there, because she will have went by all my other neighbors somehow without them seeing her. Well, I go up there and she's not at the hot girl's house. But she is at the house at the very end of the street where it dead ends. There's a dog back there that's fenced into their yard. Daphne's on the outside of the fence. Their dog's on the inside of the fence, and they're prancing back and forth. Here we got a fish wanting to play too, like Daphne's wanting to play with that dog. Here we go. What do you think it is, carp? Buffalo? I think this one's probably a carp. He's wanting to run. Oh, we're doubled. We're doubled. Buddy, we're doubled up. If y'all was a fishing partner worth a damn, you'd grab that other rod. I can only do one at a time. We're gonna get this one up here, try to land him, throw him in the kayak, and then we'll pick up on the other one. I don't wanna just pull him up here close, I don't think, because then he'll swim around my motor and power poles while we fool with the other one. He's come right at us, man. Yeah, that's another common right there. Let's get him up here. You come up here, carp. You calm it down. I want to get rid of you quick so we can get our other one. Doubled, man. On the two rigs that don't have a worm. Be interesting to see now. This is another carp. Be interesting to see if now that we're out of worms, if we start catching these carp. The middle rod does still have that piece of worm. I can't get a hold of this thing for nothing, folks. Y'all are a terrible net man. Y'all ever netted a fish before? Because it sure don't look like it right now. Just scoop this thing up already. Just get him. Boy, this thing is going everywhere but in the net. He's still too wound up. Normally I'd take a little bit more time, but I'm trying to get him going because I want to get the other one. Okay, there we go. Let's just bring him in. Now let's at least pick up on this other one, see if he's still got it over here. Are you kidding me? He just popped off. Y'all spent so much damn time trying to net that fish. You missed him 47 times. And while you were fooling around with him, we lost that fish. That could have been our world record buffalo. Y'all botched it. I blame you for that. It wasn't my mistake, that's for sure. I've never made a mistake in my life, have I, carp? This fish knows I ain't. He's a small one. Man, all these carp, they must be spawned out, because they're all just real skinny. This is a smaller carp anyway, but this one along with some of them others have just been really skinny. Get on out here, carp. If he was a little bit smaller, I would have considered him for some catfish bait potentially. Well, looks like we're baiting 2 more rods, 1 fish out of the 2 landed. 50%, not too bad, I guess. But anyway, Daphne's up there, very end of the road. Somehow went by all of my neighbors, didn't stop at their houses, didn't get seen by any of them, and winds up at the very end of the road with I guess they've got a dog. I had never seen that dog up there. I guess their dog's well behaved and doesn't escape their fence. So I get Daphne's attention, and I'm on the electric bike, of course, and she likes chasing the bike, right? Like this is how we play all the time. And I'm like, maybe I can get her to just chase me home. And so she chases me down the street until we get to my neighbor's house that she likes. And she stops. And she's just sitting there looking at me. And I'm like, here we go. Because she knows she's in trouble. She knows she's done wrong. And so thankfully my neighbor's still outside. And I holler at him and I'm like, hey, she's up here. Can you get her in your fence? And I'm gonna go up my house and get the leash. So he does. And I walk back up the street to get her, and he had her in his fence. Like, he put his dog out there, and she'd run right in there to play with his dog because she likes his dog. But he goes inside the fence with my leash to try to get the leash on her, and she's wizened up to our game. You know, she knows what happens. So she's running from him like she won't let him get that leash on her for nothing. So this is what I had to do. I had to start petting his dog because she's super jealous and all. And so when I started petting his dog, she comes up, of course, trying to push his dog out of the way. And he was able to get the leash on her for me. And then I pretty much had to drag her home as she's hunkered down like she's just an abused child or something. Just has such a hard life. And her Serta mattress dog bed and all of her treats and all of her toys and everything, you know. It's just a damn dog. But I guarantee you what it was. The girlfriend's been gone. Daphne's been able to sleep in bed at night, and when the girlfriend showed up, she was pissed about it. She was upset, and she acted out by running off and was gone over 2.5 hours, all the way to the very dead end of the road up there. And she couldn't even, like, if you're going to run off that far, at least go to the hot girl's house. At least, come on. Like, I mean, I'm trying to teach her the important things in life about when we're on walks at the park and stuff. She always finds these kids that, Daphne likes kids. She'll go trying to, like, get the attention of these kids that you know they ain't washed their hands. And I'm like, man, do I really want that nasty kid petting my dog? You can't say no when they come, hey, I want to pet your dog. You can't say no. I'm like, man, do I really want that grubby hands all over this dog that I'm going to be petting later? But by gosh, if there's a hot girl walking by, Daphne won't even acknowledge them. You know what I mean? Like, she don't know how this is supposed to work. But yeah, she got in trouble again, folks. I didn't whoop her, but she got a good scolding when we got back. She's been pretty good lately overall. Like, we've got to a point, that's the first time she's run off in a while, probably a couple months. And we've gotten to a point now where when I leave, I close off the bedroom door and I have to put my kitchen chairs across the couch to keep her off of that. But otherwise, I leave her out in the house now. I don't put her in the crate anymore. And so far, she's been good. She don't chew nothing up. She don't get in the trash. Like, she's been a lot better. But every time I think that I can fully trust this dog, she finds a way to make me regret it. I was worried. At one point, I really was worried. She'd either been kidnapped or she'd went down toward the highway. But that's just how it is. You got a energetic dog like that that's very spiteful. She's gonna get out from time to time. But it has forced me to be interactive with all of my neighbors. Like, I have literally, except for the guy across the street who I want to know about his driveway, every other neighbor I've had to communicate with because of Daphne. Every single one. And I know most of you out there probably know all of your neighbors. But me, I try to keep to myself. Like, I ain't trying to make no new, I'm 42 years old, people. I ain't trying to make any more new friends. Like, the friends I've got are the friends I'm going to have until we die. Like, I'm not trying to add new people. I just ain't got it in me. Thankfully, my neighbors ain't the type that's going to be doing barbecues and inviting neighbors over for us, so I don't have to feel awkward by saying no. I would like to go in the hoarder's house one time, though, just to see if it's as nasty on the inside as it is on the outside. I'm always fascinated by those people. You know, there's the TV show Hoarders. Pretty sure that's what it's called. And it was like a documentary style show, 30-minute episode, hour episode, where they would go in and try to clean up these hoarders' houses and stuff. And you see people like that and you hear the stories of it, but it's just fascinating to see how they live and all that stuff piled up and just how dirty it is and all. And I'm not, listen, I ain't trying to judge nobody like my house is spotless all the time. Hell, it for sure ain't. But I couldn't live in all that clutter and trash and all. Like, I couldn't do it. But there's sometimes you meet somebody, or in the case like my neighbor girl there, like, I just like to see in the house one time, just to see what it was like. Like, does the inside match the outside? Really? How do you, I mean, it's been like that for months. I mean, months. I mean, it's just, that whole car, I mean, that's a big carport. Y'all saw it. The whole thing, like, it's spilling out the entrance of that carport because, I mean, it's just trash from like one end to the other, piled all the way to the top of it. I mean, between her and the people she had living there before, like, nobody ever went to the dump. We don't have trash service where I live. You got, well, I think maybe you do. I see the trash truck sometimes, but I don't pay for it. Nobody I know pays for it. Everybody just goes to the dump. Unless you burn your trash. Like, I probably shouldn't admit on video that I would do such a thing, but nevertheless, we don't have trash pickup. So, I mean, it's just been piling up for months. I don't know. I can't imagine the varmints that must be in there, the rats and possums and all that. It's got to be a smorgasbord for them. And of course, there's all them stray cats and whatnot. Well, she feeds them cats. I don't guess technically they're strays, but... Well, she told me they were there when she got places like, so I guess they were strays that she kind of befriended and started feeding. I think one of them cats got eaten, though, the other day. So this was interesting. I wish I could have got this on video. I was taking off to drive down my driveway to leave, and all of a sudden, this hawk is flying down, but he's like flying really low, and he goes right down the bottom of my driveway there. And I notice he's holding an animal. And I'm up at the top of the hill here. I mean, my driveway's fairly long, and I'm at the top of the hill, and he's like flying down toward the bottom. And this hawk, he's a big bird. I mean, he's a hawk. He can barely clear the top of my fence because I guess the weight of this animal that it's carrying, but it was so far away I couldn't get a good look at what the animal was. But I saw it had a tail dangling. And so I'm like, that's either got to be a cat or a possum, because what else would have a tail like that? Or a puppy, which I don't think in my neighborhood has a puppy that I'm aware of. But like, it wasn't a rabbit because it would just had a little cottontail. This was a tail, like a longer tail. It was so far away I couldn't tell if it was like a skinless or a hairless tail like a possum or a fur tail like a cat. But either way, that damn hawk, man, it was big enough, like it was having trouble flying because it was so much weight on that thing. But then he swooped across my fence, barely cleared the fence, and like swooped up across the street there into the woods. And I pulled out my driveway. I was driving real slow. I was trying to look, see if I could get an eye on him, see what he had, and I couldn't find him. Like, that was pretty interesting. So I think it's possible one of the neighbor girl's cats may have gotten eaten. Them hawks, man, I mean, they're big birds. You see birds sometimes, you'll be out here fishing on the river and you'll see ospreys dive down. I've seen bald eagles go down in the water and and get fish and stuff, but them hawks, buddy, they'll eat birds and rabbits and squirrels and kittens and whatever they can get, man. They're a bird of prey. I mean, they're a predator. I wish I could have got a look at what he had, though. You come to my neighborhood and just keep your eyes open, there ain't no telling what you're going to see. There could be drug deals going down. The cops used to show up all the time in my neighborhood because one of the people, I talked to this fellow the other night when I was looking for Daphne. He's pretty nice, but him and I guess his ex-girlfriend, she ain't been there in a long time. Boy, the cops used to be out there all the time. Something was always going down. But you just never know what you're going to see in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is really, it's a melting pot of people. Like, you have just about every race. There's white people, black people, Mexican people, all in my neighborhood. You have people with nice properties, really nice houses, big houses, nice yards, and then you got single wide trailers with trash piled up everywhere. And I ain't talking trash about anybody that's got single wide trailers. A lot of nice people have single wide trailers. Here we go. Fish. What we got here? What we got here, folks? I think it's going to be a carp. He's a pulling. It's got to be a carp. It's got to be. I'm going to let him do his thing, buddy. We wear that energy out, fish. I'll just sit here and play tug of war with you. I'm going to win unless you pop that hook. But anyway, I ain't trying to say nothing bad about anybody. I don't think no less of anybody if they're in a single wide trailer. I'm just saying, in my neighborhood, you've got really nice house, just an immaculate yard, and then a few lots over, you'll have a 1974 model single wide trailer with windows busted out and rebel flags hanging type thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a big difference in my neighborhood, just house to house, what you're going to get. My neighborhood's a real melting pot of cultures. And now I've interacted with just about everybody. I could probably get a real estate deal done, some investment advice, and buy meth all in my neighborhood. Just by the people that Daphne has made me forced to interact with in the last couple of years. I don't know what this is. I mean, is it a carp or is it another buffalo? Let's tighten up this line so he don't get in it. I've not got a good look at him yet. It initially fought like a carp, but now it really ain't. Yeah, it's another carp. Okay, it is a carp. Okay, there he goes. I'm like, boy, he just ain't, he's give up the fight. Like, I didn't think he was going to give up like that after how he started. I guess he was just catching his breath and resting a second. This fish here, he wanted to make sure he had all of his second wind. This is going to be a little better one right here. This is going to be bigger than some of them other ones that we've gotten that have been kind of skinny, spawned out looking. This one may be spawned out too, but he's at least going to be a little bigger. Let's see if we can get our net over here. Come here, carp. What a good day, man. I can't tell you how much fun I've had today. I love it when it's like, these kind of bites don't happen all the time, where you're just getting bit continuously. Don't watch this video and be new to carp fishing and think like this is how it is all the time. This ain't how it is. But you do occasionally have days like this. And boy, when they happen, they're fun. And I have had some fun today. He still don't want to come over here. He's got his eye on you. He said you're giving him the stink eye, and he's scared of you, and he don't want to come over here and get in this net and have to interact with you. Oh, that's a good one, buddy. This is a good fish, man. I think this here's the biggest carp of the morning so far. This slob right here. Okay, let's give it some more slack here. Oh man, y'all, look at this thing. Oh man, I'm gonna set y'all up here. Y'all, hey, do me a solid and get me a picture of this fish, would you? Help an old boy out. Y'all ain't done nothing for me out here all day, netting fish and whatnot. At least take the picture. Couldn't even get you to unhook them turtles earlier. Oh crap, I got my fake corn caught in my net. Usually that's when you get the stuff ripped off your line right there is when that happens. Oh, okay, hold yourself up, carp. You ought to be about wore out, man. I'm telling you, camera's crooked, but we roll with it. Nice, man. Easily the biggest one of the morning, I think. As far as the carp goes, anyway. A battle of a fight. This one still got a little bit of a belly on it. What do you think, carp? You ready to go? We'll see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'll give that one a fist pump too. Yeah, man. Like I was saying though, this kind of bite, man, if this is your first carp video, or maybe you've watched me catfish and you're like, man, I'm gonna try carp fishing. It's fun and I hope you do. But the kind of bite we've had today is, it happens, but it's not like this all the time. Okay, maybe lower your expectations just a smidge before you go out. I can't get this dang corn through this net. There we go. Now we got it. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Okay. All right. Let's get you all here. Let's see what we can do here. See if we can cast it out again. Lower my power poles down. I shifted weight. All right, man. I'm telling you, we've stopped using the worms and we started catching the carp. Don't know if that's truly made a difference, but could this be that the buffalo moved out and the carp moved in? I don't know. Either way, we've got half that worm left in there. Here's what let's do. Let's cast this one back out. I'm gonna reel in that middle rod, see if we still got a worm on it. If we do, I'm gonna add the other half of this other worm here. I'm not gonna fish too terribly much longer. We gotta be getting, we're coming up on 4 hours here soon, because we gotta be about running out of batteries, what I was about to try to say. Yeah, we are. My battery pack is dead. We're working on the battery inside the camera now. Yeah, we'll see what we got. We may be sitting down there with a bare hook. Bare hook. We've been out there fishing on credit. Yeah, let's put the other half of this worm, if I can find it. What'd you do with the worm? There he is. Let me just root around here a little bit. That's all of it. That's it. It's the last piece of worm here. We got our money's worth, man. These worms are like everything else. Inflation's got them. They've went up in price, but I feel like paying almost $5 for that tub of worms, I feel good about it. I'm okay with it, with the number of buffalo we got today. I'll gladly pay $5 for this amount of buffalo. I can't believe how many we've gotten. I don't know how many it is, but it's a new record for me. I've never caught that many buffalo before. And it's even more awesome because I stunk so bad at catching buffalo. Oh, we got one on. Let's cast this one out. Let's throw this one out. We're gonna reel that one in. I've stunk so bad at catching buffalo this year, and we've got so many. Okay, fish, I'm ready for you now. We're gonna leave them biting today. When I do leave y'all, we're gonna leave them biting. I got a feeling as good as this bite is, we could just sit out here all day. Now, even if I was gonna stay longer, we can't stay out here all day because we're about out of bait. We're about out of pack bait. But you know what I mean, like if we had more and we had the desire to be out here all day, I'm pretty sure that we could sit out here and just catch these fish just all day long. And you know what? Again, we have had, all morning long, we've had this creek to ourselves. Nobody's been back here pestering us. I promise you, if we'd been out there trying to catfish on the main river channel today, it'd be one boat after another going by. We'd have been pestered all morning long, getting hit with boat wake. And we can come back in here, kick back. I can't really say we've relaxed today because we've been busy nonstop, just reeling in fish, as this one wants to swim all the way behind us over here apparently. But either way, I mean, we've had a good morning back here, having basically our own private creek. You know what we need now, No? We need to pull up one of these carp and it be a mirror. How would you talk about topping off the day? If we could get a mirror carp, that may be asking a lot, but that would be awesome. It's an awesome day regardless, but that would be really awesome if we could do that. Let's see if we can get our net again, I think this one's about ready. He's not as big as the last one. Well, I say that, and now he's wanting to swim circles away from the net again. You think you get them wore down, and here they go again, folks. This one's got some bright orange on his tail. Some of these carp are more colorful than others, and I don't know if if carp change their colors a little bit, like seasonally. Do they get brighter at times? I don't know. Don't know enough about them to know one way or the other, but most of the carp we've had today have been kind of a drab color, if you will, but this one here's at least got some brighter orange on his tail. I'll take that hook back, please and thank you. Thank you, sir. Oh, easy. You got sores on your belly too. They all been sharing that same woman down there, I reckon. You got the scabies going around there, fish. Y'all better call the health department what we've seen today. They just all sharing it around. Let's get this net out the way. Yeah, folks, not only are we running out of battery life on the camera, but we're getting down to the nitty gritty here on our pack bait, even with not putting as much on the feeders the last few times. Like, we've just caught so many fish today. We've just about worked through it. But better to run out of bait than to go home with a whole bag full that didn't get used because you didn't catch fish. I'd much rather have the situation that we've had today. Yeah, I'm not even putting much on the last few times. I like to do it a lot. I like get big globs of it on there when you first start to try to put out the scent. But once you get them like we've got them now, where they're feeding in an area, there's undoubtedly a lot of scent out here in front of us. Like, once you get to that point, you don't have to put as much on because they're already feeding right there. You've got them in there anyway. It's just a matter of getting them to find either the bait on your hook, or in this case, the hair rig for them to suck up while they're getting the other corn and crumbs and stuff. Let's see where we're at on battery here. Yeah, we're in the home stretch with the battery, folks, which it works out. This battery pack and the battery in the camera, like, with it crapping out around 4 hours, it really kind of works. And it almost, even if I'd planned on maybe fishing 5 hours on a day, it kind of gives me motivation to just get on home a little earlier, unless I'm just on a good bite. Like today, I could probably be talked into staying a little longer if we had bait, but this bait we have may not make it much longer. I hope y'all have enjoyed it today. I've had fun. Like, I've legit had fun out here today, and I hope y'all have too. Oh, crap, y'all, goddamn snake coming. All right, see, you see that snake right there on that water? You see him right there? He's swimming across. That thing, we got a fish on here on a worm. We got a fish on our worm. Let's see what that snake does with this fish. I hope that fish doesn't go over there to that snake and get him wrapped up in our line. What a disaster that would be. We got to tighten down our reel handle here too. We caught so many damn fish, we better work that reel handle loose. Look at that snake, man. He's over there. He's headed toward our fish. Boy, I don't want to deal with no snakes, y'all. We get a snake up in here, I'm out. They can have this kayak. That is my fear about being, like, trying to pull up on the bank in these overgrown areas, is you begging to be dealing with snakes or have them fall on your head like Bill Dance did back in the day, where they're on a branch and you don't see them. Okay, this one's coming to this side too. He wants to go that way, we'll let him. Let's see what this is. Oh, look here, it's another buffalo. The one rod, folks, the one rod that we still had a worm on, we just put that other piece of worm, just what, 5 minutes? We get another buffalo. I truly, this tells us everything we need to know right here. The fish we were getting today on the worm, buffalo was eating them. We ran out of worms. We started catching carp on the fake corn. Like, maybe I need to start using worms more often. Maybe that's going to be the ticket for me catching more buffalo potentially. We'll try it. We'll experiment with it this summer and see. Like, maybe that's the ticket, folks. I say that, and then watch us. We'll never catch another buffalo and a worm again after today. You know what I mean? It'll be like a one-time thing that just freak thing happened. But I mean, like I said, I did. Pretty sure my biggest buffalo was on. I'll have to look it up, the video, but I'm pretty sure it was on a worm that day. We're out of worms now. This may be the last buffalo. I ought to give you some front camera time for being the last one, but man, you buffalo have been awesome today. Absolutely awesome. They are such a cool fish. Totally no respect. I mean, nobody gives buffalo a second thought. You don't even hear carp fishermen talking about buffalo. The only person I know that gives carp any kind of respect is that guide I fished with down there in Texas a couple years ago. I went down there to try to learn how to target carp from him, and we just had a disaster of a trip. The weather was awful. We didn't do any good. Like, it was awful. It was an awful trip. And so I didn't gain any confidence to be able to come home and target buffalo. But he wasn't using worms. Like, he was using just he was throwing out feed and stuff, and you know, method feeders. But he had plastic baits. He was using some kind of barbell-like bait on his hook on a hair rig. So, I mean, they were hitting artificial, and I've caught them on artificial, on the fake corn before. But today, man, the worm rig has definitely, it's done something for us today. I mean, I've been really impressed today. So next time you see me carp fishing, expect to see some worms. I'm gonna go ahead and put this rod up because we don't have any fake corn on there, and I don't want to just retie a whole new rig on. No more longer than we're going to fish, and for no more bait than we have left anyway. We probably can't bait but 1 or 2 more times at the most anyway. So we'll just leave our other 2 rods out for now. We could have actually, with as many fish as we're catching, I mean, we could have switched down to 2 rods already, but we've been fortunate in that when these fish have made their runs left and right today, they've either swam over or swam under, but they haven't gotten all wrapped up in the lines. Like, we've been really fortunate with that. We haven't had the tangles today. So I like this. I think most carp fishermen use 3 rods. Like, I think that's pretty commonplace. A lot of them rod pod things that they will fish with off the bank with the alarms are set up for 3 rods. So I think that's pretty common. But I like the setup here for kayak fishing purposes, just because I can, in a wide area like this, we can spread our baits out a little more. Just kind of fan casting them. 4 rods, I've done 4 rods before. I got videos of me doing it, but it does get a little cramped. And usually, like, if we had a 4th rod out here today, I probably wouldn't put it in front of us. I would have probably put it over here real shallow beside us on one side or the other. But 3 rods, I mean, you get on a good bite like we have today, 3 rods is going to keep you really busy. And we've been busy out here all morning. I mean, it didn't take long at all to get the first, well, we got that bluegill first, but I mean, otherwise though, even getting the fish we were after, it didn't take long to get it started, and it's been on ever since. So sometimes things just work out, folks, and it's worked out like that for us today. My last carp trip, I can't remember how long it took to get the first bite, but I mean, I got bit throughout the morning, but there was never any, it wasn't like this. It was catch a fish, wait a while. Catch a fish, wait a while. Like, it wasn't just boom, 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 doubles, all that. Like, that wasn't happening that day. But I was catching them on blueberries that day. And I got a buffalo on the blueberry rig that day too. I'm pretty sure the buffalo was on the blueberry. I started out, I think I put on, you know, my memory's so damn bad. It was the last carp trip. So regular viewers you saw, but I'm pretty sure I ended up catching that buffalo on the blueberry. But I'd had some leftover blueberries in the fridge, and I thought, I'm gonna take them things out and put them on the hook and go carp fishing with them. They caught fish. That particular creek I was in, it's a very narrow creek. I wasn't sure how many fish I was gonna get. I got a surprising amount for the size of that creek, but it wasn't nothing like today, man. You get back here in these kind of creeks you've got these big wide areas and stuff, like, you can get a lot of fish in places like this. It's just a matter, if there's a downside to fishing places like we're at today, it's the fact that they are so big and wide that if you're set up in a place where the fish aren't actively feeding at or working through at that time, like they may just not find your baits. Especially if you don't have any water movement. Like if you're in a creek that's got a little flow, the current will take your scent, obviously. And now the last little bit here, the wind started to blow a little bit. So in that situation, if you got wind blowing and you cast your baits out, some of them breadcrumbs will stay on the surface. And the wind will kind of push those along and kind of disperse your scent. But like if you're on a calm day in slack water and there ain't fish in your area or working through, like, boy, you can sit there a long time with nothing happening. So we were very fortunate today. Other than the one, I hate hooking any turtle, but especially the one we had to cut the hook off. That was unfortunate. I hate doing that. I'll feel bad about that. Hopefully he'll be okay. It wasn't so deep that it was back in his throat, but it was just deep enough that it was going to be hard to get, and I just really feared I was going to damage him. Plus, he kept wanting to bite the pliers every time I tried to reach in there. Can't blame him. I would be too, probably. I did stop, though, the other day. I was coming through a back road area. It was after it rained. And there was a box turtle crossing the street, and I stopped and helped him on across the other side. I always try to do that if I see a box turtle. But I just don't see them that much anymore. Like used to when I was younger, we used to see them all the time. But I might see one or two a year now. I don't know if if there's just not that many left. I don't know. I do like me some turtles, though. They're just a cool animal. Like they're kind of what do you call, like the RV people, and the people that go from one campground to the next with their RV. They'll have their little travel trailers with them. I mean, some people live like that year round. They ain't just a vacation thing. Like they live like that. It's kind of like that with turtles. Like they just move along, stop. That's their house for the night. Home is wherever. What's that saying? I can't think of right now. Home is where your heart is. Home is. Hell with it. I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm trying to say, though. For a turtle, home is wherever he stops for the night. You fish a spot like this, though, this super shallow water, back of these creeks. I mean, there's so many turtles back here. Like you can't throw worms, corn. Here's another one. We say we try to close out this video with the fish. Let's close it out here with this one, by gosh. This is perfect, because the time we get him landed, our battery will probably be close to dead. I always like ending with a fish if possible. Well, I was trying to say, you fish places like this, I don't care what bait you're throwing out. Worms, minnows, corn, cut bait if you can't fishing. You're gonna get turtled, man. They're gonna be all over it. Now, if you're using bigger hooks, like your catfish hooks, they'll strip your hooks clean. If you're using smaller hooks, like bluegill fishing or carp fishing here, unfortunately, you're gonna catch them in turtles, because they're not gonna get a 10-aught size circle hook in the mouth. But they will sometimes get these smaller hooks either in the mouth, or when they go, I think, to tear the baits with their claws, they'll sometimes get them in their claws and their feet. They're just an unfortunate bycatch that you really can't do nothing about in these situations. I never see those people over there. I don't watch a lot of fishing videos on YouTube, but the carp videos that I have watched, then people over there in England and Europe and stuff, I'm always amazed that you never see them reeling in any turtles. Never one time in any video over there in Europe or England that I've watched, I've never seen them reel in a turtle. I don't know if they just don't have turtles. I don't know. But I mean, we deal with them a lot here in America. I mean, everywhere you go, there's turtles here. Okay, let's see if we can land this thing and maybe close this video out with a bang here. This ain't gonna be the biggest carp of the day by any stretch, but it was another bite. And anytime these rods go over and line's peeling, it just, that initial run, man, when you see the rod go over and you don't know what it is, how big it is, like, it gives you that little adrenaline rush. Yeah, man. Let's see what we can do with you, Mr. Carp. Yeah, oh, don't act that way. No reason to be showing out like this. I'm very friendly with you, carp. I always let you go. I'm using small hooks. There's humans with piercings that have bigger needles going through them than that small hook that you just had, carp. There he is, y'all. Potentially the last carp of the day, unless our other rod goes over here before the battery dies or before I tell you it's bye. Yeah. All right. Oh, well, oh man, golly bum, got me in the mouth. Nasty. We done seen them fish with the scabies all over them. I sure don't want none of that in my mouth. He gets y'all wet that time too? How have y'all made it all damn day without getting splashed? He's got my glasses. Lord, y'all. Well, it looks like now that I take my glasses off, there are some watermarks there on the lens. Hopefully that ain't affected y'all's view. Let me see what y'all are seeing here. Yeah, I can't really see. Well, my battery's about dead. Y'all, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm probably gonna get out of here next few minutes. I may rebait this one here one more time because I can rebait once or twice more. I'll probably sit here a few more minutes, but we'll call this the end of the video, and next video should be a catfish trip, hopefully. But hey, if you stuck with me for dang near 4 hours today, carp fishing and buffalo catching, I appreciate you, man. I hope you've had fun. I've had fun today. Best buffalo trip for numbers of my life, and pretty cool that happened on one of these unedited trips here like this. So I'm gonna go home happy today, y'all, and hey, come with me next time. We'll do it again soon.